You were this close to losing your...
That was glorious.
I am your host, Roman, and we are back this week to talk about Ahsoka Episode 7, Dreams and Madness. That's a dumb fucking...
But,
I mean, I feel like I was going mad.
I mean, what was that? Dreams and Madness?
That is a stupid title.
Did y'all see Dreams or Madness in that show? I saw Madness.
I saw Madness.
Madness. And the madness is for folks who are dreaming that this is going to lead to a feature film.
Yeah.
Make no... Look at the stuff they put out. Make no mistake, it's going to lead to a feature film whether you want it to or not.
It may be many years from now.
Hopefully with recent talk amongst Disney to quiet the noise, maybe they're going to which is a big if, I know. But if they're smart, which they're not, this film will not get made. No. As I will report in my video tomorrow morning. So stay tuned.
Ooh, right on.
The way things are going, everything is getting so expensive. You can't afford to make something half baked. You just can't do it.
And there's no audience to justify the spending.
Yeah, who?
But exactly.
I mean, that one guy that's in my comment section for my video, like he's enjoying it. He's sending me essays on how Sabine is actually a really great character.
Yeah. Oh, the whole Disney thing,
animated Sabine was.
Stopping the chatter about the message. That's just let's see if we can get some stupid people back in here.
That's a big pile of stupid sauce.
Yeah.
Hey, the stupid people arrived. Wow.
Yeah.
No. You're not the stupid guy in my comment section that's saying that, oh my God, Sabine's supposed to be bad and she's supposed to be incompetent, but she's actually a great person.
Wait. So this person is trying to justify Sabine to being a cunt in this?
Whoa!
Well, he has a point.
If
they specifically wrote her to be bad, and I don't mean like a bad person, like, well, you know what I mean, just bad at everything.
Poorly?
Yeah, no, just to not have done any training, a lick of training since the last animated series, to have regressed as a person. I mean, if that's what they were going for, they succeeded. My hat's off to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go around the horn here, and then we can hop into this fantastic and exciting episode.
The penultimate.
More to go after this.
Thank God.
Gosh.
But
it hurts my soul.
Next week we get a double dose. We get the end of Ahsoka and the beginning of Loki season 2.
Yeah, I can't do.
No.
Spoiler ahead here. We're not going to be doing Loki.
Thank God.
Of the Empire.
But I am watching it.
Even I have my bounds, and Loki is it.
Don't do it to yourself, Mando.
Was so terrible. I couldn't do Loki season.
They've got 2 episodes.
My boy.
That's it.
Yes, that is a sword that's shoved through my sternum right now. But I guess if I'm I'm cutting out. Oh. Am I back?
You were just robot.
Yeah, you got stuck for a second.
Biscuit.
Yeah,
I was gonna say that. I know, right? That is a sword sticking out of my torso. But if we want to cover Loki, I'm happy to do it on my show or my channel.
Okay, we may have.
Gosh, I'll come on your show.
Because
we'll see if we can find some more people.
I'm not even watching that one. But anyway, let's go around the horn here. So he is my partner on the channel. He is my wingman. He once stopped me from carpet bombing Mustafar because it wasn't required. He is Shieldwall of Dragons. Welcome back, my friend. How are you?
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Well, as JV was saying, it's the penultimate, or however you say it, episode. Penultimate. And so we'll see what they cram into the last one to get all the story out. But okay, so let me say this: I watched the episode and I was like, it looks good. It had like fighters and spacecraft, and yeah, the fighters kind of suck and can't shoot nothing down. Sure, but they look good. They sound good. The lightsabers look cool. Most of the sets, little turtle people, I'm not down with. They just look like cheap puppets.
Fuck those turtle people, man. Fuck
the
ding dinks.
But the rest of it looks good. Like it's
Beard, stop it.
So I like the way that it looks. I like the way that it sounds. And so I'll say that it has that going for it. And it's got, again, it's a sine wave thing. It'll do something that I like, and then it'll dive off a cliff.
Yeah.
And then it'll come back up with something that I like a little bit. It's still, here's my mantra for the show. It's still better than Kenobi. So I know that's not a high
hard
bar.
though. That is such a low bar.
It is.
Oh my God.
But I don't regret watching it. How about that? I'm having fun.
I'm not hating myself. Yeah. I hated watching Secret Invasion far more than I'm hating watching this. And I want to talk to the folks out there watching again. I don't go into these shows, Secret Invasion or Ahsoka. I don't go into them specifically to have a negative reaction to them. I am hoping we are going to get a good program. It's just that we don't, or at least we don't get as good a program as I'm hoping for something that I can sit and go, yeah, instead of going like, okay, that was all right. So,
right.
Although these days it's more like what Harris says in this episode: plan for the worst and hope for the best.
Yep.
Yeah, it's. All I'm saying is that the production value of this is obviously higher than
that's true.
Than Kenobi or some of the other things that they've done. Anyway, but yeah, I'm happy to be here. Hail to the chat, and so let's do this thing.
Yeah, and a big thank you to all you guys for minding the store last week. I really did appreciate that. So I could take care of
and congrats to Roman. 400 milestone finally reached.
Thank you.
That was the best day on Twitter. Everyone was like, the key to
on your show, man.
Yeah, the key to getting all your subs is to not be on your own show.
The long slog to 400. So it's good. It's fine. It's good. So he is the meme master of the interwebs, using his powers for good instead of evil. He is Jacob Ironside. Welcome back to the show, my friend.
Thank you, sir. I'm glad to be back. I love this show.
This show one. Or Ahsoka? I need a
not Ahsoka. Not Ahsoka. No.
Jacob's out there swinging a lightsaber, knocking the raccoons down.
They're going to be a bunch of videos now made about Jacob Ironside. He secretly loves
Ahsoka.
He really enjoys it. Didn't you know that?
If you look closely enough at the Declaration of Independence, you will see his beard signature. He is the Beard of Liberty. Welcome back again, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me here, as always. Again, this is our therapy group. We get together and we lament the loss of Star Wars. I kind of like what Shield was saying earlier. There are little things that tickle the lizard part of my brain in this show where I kind of, if everything else is shut off, I kind of go, oh, that's nice. And then the logic kicks in and go, oh, that don't make sense.
Yeah. But we will get to all of that, and the many questions that are left hanging in the air as to why did they do that?
Yeah.
She will tell you if this is the way. She would kick Sabine's ass across the galaxy. She is the Untamed Mando. God damn it, guys. Things like this that are going to bring this situation to a head.
She brought props.
I don't know why she does it. No.
Yes, I would kick Sabine's head and ask her where she put her helmet because it needs to be shoved up her tiny little rear. Hi. I'm doing okay. This episode, if any of you have seen my review, you'll see that I could not speak for a bit. And a lot of the parts of my video where you see me just like kind of sitting there sad and alone, there was a lot more of that I cut out, and there was a lot more screaming that my husband was like, "Are you okay, dear? Are you okay?" I'm like, "No, I'm about to have a heart attack." So yeah. That and my neighbors also came up to check on me.
Are you okay? We heard some language. There was some yelling.
How's your blood pressure?
Your neighbor your neighbor is Marge Simpson Mando?
I guess so. It's actually a dude, but
you could. I can do other voices from The Simpsons as well, but I can like Apu, but I don't know if that would be appropriate. So so basically, you have those parts where it was like the Pablo Escobar stills, where he's sitting on the swings and looking out over into the pool. Except it's Mando waiting for a good moment.
You just do Flanders for Mando's neighbors.
Golly,
I hope you're okay.
I'm okay.
Oh.
I'm okay.
Lord.
I'm also having camera issues.
With his
I've disrupted it. Oh God, it's right now. He is the scourge of Gotham, the nemesis of the Dark Knight. He is Joker Voice. Welcome back, my friend. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing just peachy. This episode was so insulting and so maddening. It made me push an old man down a flight of stairs.
Was it
Commissioner
like
Gordon?
A random old man. I need to know.
It was just a random. It was fine.
His name was Dave.
Dave Filoni.
Dave
Filoni.
Oh no. Dave Filoni. Good old Dave.
You were this close to losing your
Jacob Ironside. That warms my heart every time.
Mando.
Like, what the fuck happened to Mando?
Let's just say Jason Todd got off easy.
I was gonna say she got Sabine Rend. Oh,
Sabine found me, and she's taking her revenge.
No, if it's Sabine from the show, you can handily beat her easily.
Yes.
No, I've got problems. Now I got all kinds of problems. Everybody's in the wrong place here.
Rage is shutting down your camera.
You know,
Mando, you're causing a boomer moment.
And this isn't even my fault, folks. Most of the things that happen on the stream are, in fact, my fault. This is not one of them.
My camera is trying to my new camera is trying to take over and just get rid of.
Much like the corn in my kettle that was popped by avocado oil, he is popped by culture. It was a little weird. I'm not going to lie. He is Josh McDonald. Welcome back to the show.
You started with much like the corn in my, and I was like, where's he going with this?
But you really lost me at avocado oil, and then I was like, only in California. Only in
it's got to be
popcorn with avocado oil because it's better for you.
Bet a gallon of avocado oil is cheaper than
better for the environment.
I just want to ride Joker Voice's coattails for a second, since we're talking about people getting pushed downstairs. And I just want to elaborate and say some people are like slinkies. They are good for nothing, but they'll give you a laugh if you shove them down the stairs.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Accepted. Let's say hi. Oh, that took the wind out of me. I'm not going to lie. To our delightful chat. We have hey, Mr. AWK, our man in the UK. Good to have you with us, my friend. America's 2001 back. Oh God. Subtle deviancy. and his wildly inappropriate hamster comments. Welcome back, my friend. Always good to have you with us. Jordy Lyons, welcome to the show. Did Mando fucking leave again?
This is the way,
Mando.
This is the way.
There is a
Our good
disturbance
friend
in the force.
They have found me, Jacob. They have found me, and you're trying to sabotage
What's up,
me.
Matt?
Mando is going to being a fucking force ghost by the end of this thing. Our good friend Matt, the dad that shouldn't be, the man who knows all the things about all the things, and I'll be talking to him here in a couple weeks. We're going to be getting back together doing stuff again. Your Barmy, welcome to the show. Ducka. I think that's everyone who's actually Bobby Wold. Saw Bobby Wold's that's strolling down there. Well, actually, I got some other people here. Hello, Bobby. Did her these are all good questions, Bobby. Kelvin Schubert, welcome to the show.
I will say,
and our man and his shoulders, Zax. Always good to see you, my friend.
Now, I will say,
your scrumptious crumpet.
nothing against the panel here, but the show is lacking a little energy, a little a little Casey Kasem that we got last week. That was
I did invite my evil, or am I the evil twin? I guess I'm the evil twin in the relationship. Our good friend Pops. So he's got an invite if he has time. You know, he's usually got stuff going on, but
right.
So if our good friend is able to make it, and he had some bad news this morning, so I do want our prayers out for Pops, because he kind of a rough story that he shared on the Twitter earlier, and that's not good. But but to the show, my friends. Actually, Joker, did you want to share your clever tidbit that you picked up today?
Oh yes.
Oh God.
Last week around this time, the Nielsen ratings came out for episodes 1 and 2, where Ahsoka debuted 5th in the top 10. Not first, not second. It debuted behind reruns of Suits and Grey's Anatomy.
And Bluey.
This week,
Bluey the dog cartoon.
Yes. And this week for episode 3, Nielsen ratings have come out. Ahsoka didn't make the top 10 for Nielsen charts.
That doesn't calculate because Twitter tells it it's insanely popular.
Right, because because this is peak Star Wars. I mean, this is just like George Lucas.
Oh, maybe it is, but just not with people that use Nielsen.
No Star Wars.
Yeah.
Not with people who have more than 4 brain cells.
If you haven't seen Rebels, the animated Rebels, you have no clue what's going on in this show.
Right.
And I think, and we'll do our sum up about a lot of this stuff, but I think the Clone Wars Rebel factor is not to be lost on why nobody is talking about this show other than people like us.
Right.
Or,
and, and Rebels itself, keep in mind, Rebels was a cartoon that was put on Disney XD. It wasn't even good enough to make the Disney Channel. It was TV Y7. This was a cartoon made for first graders. This is a niche of a niche of a niche.
And it should not have been made live action.
No.
I mean, we saw the early version of this at the end of Solo when they mentioned Darth Maul, and that was just a little tiny thing, and nobody knew what was going on, and they decided to make an entire show that kind of had the same feeling of nobody knows what's going on.
Well, let's launch into this.
Let me know when you want me to go grab my my heart medication.
Okay, so again,
just remind you again that this is in fact Star Wars.
What?
Right. So
are you sure? This is Star Wars?
Okay, now supposedly this is supposed to be Coruscant, but at this time, the New Republic, I believe, the capital is on Hosnian Prime, because this is the system that would have been destroyed by the First Order.
I'm not sure by that. I did look at some of the timelines. I did the nerd deep dive, and this, after they mentioned that it was after Mandalorian season 3 would be 12 years ABY. So it may not have shifted quite yet.
Okay.
Because Kylo Ren in that first disaster of a movie is 29.
Oh, okay. Interesting. See, things I don't know because I don't go that deep because I
didn't watch the sequel trilogies, so
you are blessed.
I watched the first one and I was like, that's okay. And then I was like, nope.
So Hera's in trouble.
She's in trouble.
But she's in trouble. And she gets
mansplained to.
Well, she gets mansplained to, and then she has to tell a man off by saying, no, I didn't. I was saving the galaxy by not listening to you. Go.
So I have a question. You guys are smarter than me.
Well, wait, but hold on.
All right.
Brothers, preach.
Shieldwall and Roman. You both served. Would that conduct be allowed at all?
No. Also,
no.
See, but I will say,
even if it had a good outcome,
the Republic, the New Republic,
incompetent.
It's a bit of a wonky system as far as a military organization goes.
Yes,
and but her response directly to civilian oversight, and she is of a rank, despite what I think of that, that she would be talking to a civilian oversight panel. And so I get it. It's Star Wars. You want to have edgy characters. So that's what you're getting.
Well, regardless.
And technically, this panel is not a court martial. It's deciding if they're going to court martial her or not.
Right.
Which is a totally different thing. So this would be like General Milley sitting at a table up on Capitol Hill asking or answering questions from the senators.
Right.
Well, and regardless, Mon Mothma was there on the hologram with this dude whenever they had a vote to say that they're not going to support her. So she didn't disobey him. She disobeyed the chancellor that agreed, we're not going to support you. So this line is just ridiculous. It wasn't about him.
Well, also, let me... with this one, this whole scene, but for me personally, I don't know if it's been confirmed or not. I think that dude is an Imperial puppet. I think that he's very much trying to throw shade off. I don't know if it's been confirmed or not. But also, all of the things that he brought up, like the space whales, the space wizards, the Jedi, all of these Imperial remnants. What happened to the eyewitnesses on Corellia when they got, the Imperials there?
Yeah.
What happened to the eyewitnesses when the space whales jumped into hyperspace? What happened to the eyewitnesses who saw people with lightsabers fighting?
Well, how about ship sensor logs?
Yeah.
They didn't build a giant ring spaceship, steal a bunch of engines, which they can prove they did, to make the ship to go nowhere, to do nothing. It was, I'd build a battleship just for the heck of it, and then it's gone.
You also planted a droid on a ship that was stealing a hyperdrive core.
That's what I mean.
Oh, and this is where we led
Somebody went through the trouble of stealing all these hyperdrive cores to build a ship. Bad, don't worry about it. It doesn't mean anything. It's another threat.
It's like they have worse surveillance than we do. Which you effing kidding me? You have hyperspace travel, but you can't put a camera up, or you don't have everything isn't connected. All your sensor bullshit between your fleet isn't connected, and the heavy fat the rando in the background is really distracting. Captain Carson or whatever his name is. I don't like him either.
I like that Chopper was there. He had his
white Chopper's there. Great.
I hate that robot.
I hate him too.
I still love him. I will always love him though.
The murder bot.
Yes, Bobby, this is great.
Like, why are they not really, what happened to the other people in her fleet who, they died? People died from a ship going into hyperspace.
They were men. They don't count.
I thought one of them was the Rhodian was a female. Or wait, did that one live?
I don't know. I don't care if he lived or whatnot. Where's the eyewitnesses?
They killed off the Rhodian and the black guy in one go.
Apparently, they just right off destroyed X-wings like they're nothing, like popcorn on the floor or something.
No, it's like they're talking about fucking Bigfoot when it's not fucking Bigfoot. It's stuff where you have empirical evidence that these things happened. It's
so,
not. It's,
okay. But wouldn't they have questioned the other X-wing pilots before they got to her?
Oh yeah,
she's the last person you're going to be talking to for sure.
She's like has to have this moment because she's a woman, man.
Okay, there might be they would have a meeting where they would like try to figure out what was going on. I don't know if
it would bring forth evidence.
Yeah, but okay, so she would have to give her initial debriefing, right? Like, hey, what were you doing? Why were you there? And she would present, and hey, this is what happened. She could verbalize it all. She wouldn't have to have exact proof then. Then you would start your investigation. This is how it would normally go. But I get this is a TV show. They're trying to cram all this into 3 minutes or whatever. But
it was a long fucking 3 minutes, dude.
But it ignores, and that's the problem with so much of these shows today, is it ignores like blatant stuff like, let's not talk about why they were.
Here we go.
Looking to the side. We're looking to the side. Here it comes. Here it comes.
Oh my God, it's Leia. I mean,
oh wait.
That's who it should have been.
Why wasn't it a hologram?
They could have done it.
Her?
They could have done it, even not a hologram with her daughter.
Easy.
It's what I've been saying. It's what I've been saying.
Easy cameo.
That
just
would have
bring
been worthwhile.
Exactly.
You still could have had 3PO come in and he'd be like, "Oh, I have a message for the whatever," and then did the thing. But I mean,
and apparently we find out she's the freaking head of this committee.
Who
yeah, when she?
There?
Why
There's
isn't
no
she
way
in
that
the
head
room?
Of the committee isn't going to be there. It doesn't. It nothing works that way.
They wouldn't have voted on this without her.
Explained why she wasn't.
It worked last week with Roman.
Stupid sauce.
Like
you and your dang
nice having Jacob with
defense
us.
Committee when they're about to court-martial somebody. I would think that she should be one of the main council people on this committee.
It absolutely should have been her and not pudgy 3PO.
Well,
what's up with 3PO?
Why is Mon Mothma?
Yeah, his neck. What?
His neck. The fuck was that?
And his circuits are sticking out.
That's always been a thing.
That's always been a thing. Yeah,
it's more a thing now than it was.
But his neck. Look at that.
Yes. Yes.
What the? Oh God.
That's like
it's
like
great
a
when the 80s do it better.
undersuit that the actor has on showing through or something. You know, like a tight.
Surely this wasn't Anthony Daniels, right?
It was his voice.
Well, the voice is Anthony Daniels.
Okay.
I don't know if they squeezed Pearl. I don't know if they
his parts are showing. Oh my!
Dusted him off and pulled him off.
What are we squeezing?
Whoa!
But like this whole scene, she should have been here. She should have had some sort of 5-minute cameo of, "Hey y'all, I'm the head of this freaking committee. I do whatever the hell I want. Move on."
And this is where I really identify with Az when he says the show makes me want to punch an old woman in the face.
I mean, this is the equivalent of sending an email to interrupt a court proceeding.
Yeah,
it has no impact whatsoever.
And the Mon Mothma treats C-3PO like he's a hero.
Oh yeah, with reverence.
But
like,
in every other scene, what's that protocol droid doing here? That's what they would have said.
Because really the true hero of Star Wars, I think we can all accept this, is R2-D2. He would have more.
Basically,
he would carry a lot more weight than.
But also
they hate R2-D2. They never want to show R2-D2 again
because they always mean if you see R2, you're going to see Luke. That's kind of
it's Luke and Anakin's droid. That's why.
Yeah, plus R2
but
wouldn't
also
have
like
stopped
this,
and given sass. He would just push past the guard.
right?
He would have
But
electrocuted
also
the
like
guard.
this whole thing with that one senator that's just like saying, "Oh, it's just a freaking droid." We all know that he's an Imperial because Imperials are racist against everyone else besides humans.
Bobby, the reason why you don't see the red arm is because that's a J. Abrams thing to make it 25% different. So when they sell toys, he gets a cut off of that.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's why.
Yeah.
I will say that C-3PO acting the way he did with the guard is in line with his character.
Right. That is.
Yeah.
I just didn't feel the need for C-3PO though. It was a wasted moment. It was a wasted moment in a largely wasted scene. It was the email. This meeting could have been an email.
This is more key jangling than we've ever got.
Well, and two, they don't want. I don't think they want to show Leia.
No, they can't.
Oh,
She's like Luke and Han. They don't want to show those characters.
That has been
that's why
cobwebbed.
That's why they killed off the what's the fish guy? The
Admiral Akbar.
Akbar.
Yep.
That's why they killed him off. Just bye.
Did you eat him out into space?
Poor fish man.
Yeah.
So she's basically like, well, this is settled then, unless you have a objection.
Another strong objection, Mr. Bad Senator Man.
Despite being one of the votes that decided
Imperial.
against this, she's like, well, I guess this is fine.
So and again, this whole
Hey, I guarantee. Probably, but I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So this whole committee here, it's not just him. They voted.
No, there was obviously with a majority vote.
Yes. So obviously it's not just him who thought you were out of line, Hera.
Well, how could it also be a majority vote when the head of the committee wasn't there for the vote?
Yeah, right.
Does the vote even really count if the head of the committee was not there to participate?
Wow, Zax! Holy shit! Wow!
Wow! Look,
I'm
just gonna say this. I've dealt with enough fisting topics this week. Let's keep that on the DM.
If this guy does turn out to be Imperial, Hera's going to beat him up.
Yeah,
Hera's going to have a scene where she kicks his butt.
Oh, of course. I'm with Mando. It's so heavy. It's the writing for him is so heavy-handed, and it's been so every time we've seen him that it takes out any lore of could this be? Which I'm not saying you need to make this completely realistic. I think this goes to the full conversation that we're having. But if you had little tinges of realism in there, it's gonna give all this just a little more weight, a little more gravitas, and a little more of an entertainment value. And we mentioned this whole scene. They're trying to do it in 3 minutes. But I also get the sense that the people writing it have, if you were to mention these things, what about the eyewitnesses? What about the X-Wings that got, destroyed? They'd be like, oh my God, I didn't think about that.
Oh yeah, you would be, it would be your "you can't handle the truth" moment in the courtroom.
Because this is written like a children's cartoon. This is cartoon logic here.
Well, that's the writer's logic too. That's how they live their life.
Filoni, right.
Yeah, children's logic. Yeah.
For a guy Filoni that claims to be a what is it for women that likes empowered women, he sure does show Hera's backside a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Well, also if he wants to show empowered women, I understand they don't want to show the trio, but women power, right? Leia just basically could just show up for 5 seconds, say, all of y'all get out of my business and let her go, and then just walk out.
Also, supposedly for a guy that's all about empowered the women, this show has been carried by two male characters.
Yeah, one who's barely there and one who doesn't get enough screen time.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and a blue guy, I guess. And Mon Mothma was at this point basically like, do you think we're too late? You know, it's
Yes.
you know, do you think how bad do you think we fucked this up?
Obviously.
Well, geez, I don't know. I'm wasting all my fucking time here, Mom. Martha. What do you think?
They're really
Yeah,
pushing
that's
the
your,
Hope for the
threat of-
best, prepare for the worst.
yeah,
Be like, yeah.
they're really pushing the threat of Thrawn that has never existed since he's left the galaxy.
For the last
just-
10 years,
Yeah.
nobody
Everyone's like-
besides like 5 people have thought he's a threat.
Exactly. And honestly, he wasn't that big a threat in Rebels. They neutered him from what he was in the books.
Yeah.
And I never thought he was honestly a threat when I watched Rebels.
No, and remember, he is pretty isolated, even within the Empire. He's a bit of a rogue operator.
Right.
So his Star Destroyer and his troops, he's got his Star Destroyer and his troops. I mean, that's not the only Star Destroyer that's left out there floating around the galaxy. Yes, it's Thrawn, but he represents an idea, and that's the scariest thing about Thrawn. But as far as actually a physical military threat, I mean, it's like I said, it's a Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
And troops.
They're
He
treating
represents
him
a
like
rallying point.
His biggest threat is that he's a tactical and strategic genius in the books, and and he would be the leader that could instantly recoalesce the Empire.
Well,
also,
especially if you have Imperials throughout all levels of government, and he just walks up and he's like, "Hey, I'm here. Let's go." The entire infrastructure of the New Republic just dies immediately with how incompetent they are.
He's somebody who could beat a greater force than him. I mean, that's how good he is.
Well, but they talk about him like he's the next emperor with all these force powers. He is a tactician and he is brilliant.
He's technically in line to be the emperor. Like technically, like if he were to come back, he would probably assume
unified
that role.
chain of command.
Yeah, but he's not this like
by hierarchy.
This mystic that can just do everything.
Right.
And
we pop
especially
in with go. Talk Thrawn.
No, I was going to say, especially for what we've seen before. Again, like I said, they neutered him in Rebels. Like he was threatening, but nowhere near what he was in the books. He never seemed as in control. He seemed more this kind of slimy, manipulative person, which they've continued on in this show.
Yeah,
he didn't have it project this air of control. It was more menacing. And when I look at menacing, I don't think it's somebody who's in control. I think it's somebody who's trying to take it. They don't have it. They're trying to take it. And he's not a threat that they're trying to make him look like he is.
Damn it, Bobby. Stop with the facts and logic, man.
Well, I actually in my episode 6 review, I had somebody write an essay that also touched on that topic. Yeah, he made mention of some like deep lore things that if you're just a casual Star Wars watcher, you wouldn't know. But he explains it in his essay, so it's explained somewhere.
Well, hopefully you can purchase his doctoral dissertation on Amazon this summer. So the space whales arrive. Oh, the smell. And I want to thank Jacob Ironside for all of our visuals that we're going to get tonight. He came up with some some beautiful stuff.
I saw that Jacob said he was making clips. I did not expect that.
And with that, Ahsoka arrives.
Those are space whales.
Yep, the Purgles or whatever
yes, those are the space whales. That's the space Uber. I liked the scene. I didn't want to like the scene, but I liked the scene. I thought it
I thought it was fine. This out of the whole thing, I was just like, fine.
Her moves are still clunky, but I don't hate it.
No, it's slow, but it's the deliberate slow of training moves.
Well, yeah, I get it's deliberate slow of training moves, but it still feels like she felt uncomfortable doing them.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
And Shieldwall, you brought up something when we were in the green room about
constipated
the
doing this,
thing, what you thought it was and what it turned out to be.
I was like, please don't let him be a Force ghost.
I was worried about that too.
And then it turned out it was a recording. And at first I thought it was maybe something like AI thing we've never seen before, where he's like real time talking to her, like the holodeck or something. You know what I mean? Where the computer's extrapolating. But then as the scene went on, I was like, okay, it's just a recording that he made for her, which I liked. And then she had like a little box where she kept them and stuff. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
I like this message to her as well.
Yeah, it wound up being, and also I was like, just bring him back in the show somehow. I don't know, do a show with him. No, well, something.
This is also kind of a throwback to that.
She says
season.
Something that bothered me. Oh, go ahead, Beard.
Oh, I was going to say it's kind of a throwback to the last season. I think it was the last season, the Clone Wars, where it might have been the next last, where he's training her, and he actually brings in clones, and he's telling her that she can't necessarily expect certain things.
That was from Tales. That
okay.
Was from those,
that's from Tales.
From those animated shorts, Tales of the Jedi, which actually was probably the best one of all of them, because it actually had a payoff that actually made sense.
It did.
Okay, so yeah, it's kind of what I saw was kind of like a throwback to that, where he's subjecting her to certain things or training her and lecturing and things like that. So I overall didn't hate the scene. I think it works.
Agreed. Yeah.
But it's funny though at the end of all this where she says he made 20 more of these. This is the last one. He was a good master.
Well, he was.
He was.
Yeah, the only problem I had with that part of the exchange was the fact that Huyang, who's apparently been flying around with her for years in this same ship,
had no fucking idea these existed.
No idea.
Right.
Yeah.
That's funny. I had no idea. What box do you keep those in? Are they in there with your special vibrating lightsaber?
Because I kind of bought it a little bit, maybe that she just didn't break those out because of the way that it all ended between the two.
Yeah,
and
I get that.
Like a painful memory. And now that she's had that experience with the in-between or whatever that was in her head when she went in the water, she's ready now to readdress that part. And also she needs the pep talk and the training because Baylon beat that ass.
Yep.
So
she also didn't use both of her lightsabers. So, like, to me, this was a plot that I'm sure the writers thought would be really cool to be like, when she faces Baylon the first time, she's only using half of her capabilities. Now, when she faces them the next time, she's going to use all of her capabilities.
It's like, okay, what? Why?
Bobby. Oh, Bobby, that is wow.
He made sure of that.
Yeah, I can say without fear of contradiction, I'm the greatest master in the world.
Okay, so
now slide. Take a look at the remember the training seeker drones,
right?
Because I'm telling you right now, it's the exact same model that they use for the mines we're about to see.
Yep.
Well,
that's what it looks like.
Okay, so I've got this whole thing here. For one, they did not have enough time to make a minefield this vast.
Oh, it's yes. So they're coming out of hyperspace. The whales are dropping out of hyperspace.
That's where
we are right now.
I will say, I am happy because she had a really bad showing in Mando season 3. Lucasfilm brought Lizzo back to play a role she could actually play.
Yes, because her role in Mando season 3 just did not showcase her capabilities to their fullest extent.
Space whale.
And here we are.
Honestly, her performance here needed more bananas.
But
the way they open their legs in the back is kind of like being peeled. So
and plus,
big whale space banana.
Well, the bananas happened off screen because they had to fart to get out again. So.
yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So there's a bunch of explosions going on outside.
And I celebrated for a little bit, and then I realized the mines didn't do anything to the whales.
Now, also, did anyone else have a problem with obviously the whales are trying to avoid the mines, that the ship is actually turning with it? It would just be hovering in the whale's mouth. It would not move.
I assumed that they kind of did like what the are about to do with the bones and like the Millennium
They're
Falcon
attached.
did, where they like latched onto the whale's tongue. But that's kind of me giving Filoni a little bit of leeway that I'm not comfortable doing, but I'm going to do it anyway.
You know what? I know why these mines didn't do any damage. They're training mines.
Yes. I'm glad I'm not the only person who looked at that.
They gotta be.
Well, I mean, and someone tried to say that, oh well, they had so much time on the other planet, and I'm like, no, they didn't. I'm like, they had maybe 12 hours, because Ahsoka left about 12 hours after the giant space ring did. Light speed is light speed. That's a constant fixed rate of speed. So you've got, like I said, 12 hours. There's no way to make something this expansive.
If this minefield would have been here from the beginning, like when the other ship came in, then, and it was something that he did because he, 4D chess or whatever.
Right.
Well, I mean, all hyperdrives aren't the same. I know the ring is using Superstar Destroyer hyperdrives, which are class 1, but most smaller ships do tend to go faster. So I would accept that her ship had a class 1 as well. But even that, let me just say this, Joker. When she wakes up, she asks how long she was out, and they said about 1 rotation, which I took to be about 1 day. Now, equating that to Earth hours, at most I would give them 24 hours headway. But even that, a ship such as the Eye of Sion, which is built specifically to bring the Chimera back, why would they pack hundreds or thousands of mines?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's a lot of fucking mines. That's not like 5 mines.
Are they self-replicating mines?
Thousands.
I was going to say, did Rom make these?
Yeah.
Actually, if he did, they would have killed the whales. So
subtle.
So,
yeah.
Anyway,
that's true.
Oh God! And so it looks like we found.
Oh,
well, thank you.
And
Droid.
then
let's fly directly at the ship like we did last time.
And then we go to, hey, we're gonna fly into the boneyard. That looks like asteroids. Remember Empire Strikes Back? Remember Attack of the Clones? Remember?
Yeah, but we're the Minots,
at
whatever
least
they are.
At least Hunglo got it right this time. He called them enemy fighters, not a squadron.
Right.
I mean, and the scene did look good, though. I can't say that it didn't. I thought the scene looked good.
Like I said, the whole, it all looks good for the most part,
Right.
except for the turtle things.
Yeah.
I hate those fucking things.
Anywhere they don't have to composite live action with like the volume, it looks great.
But it goes back to this. I mean, you can put a shit sandwich on a plate and put a lot of nice stuff around it. It's still a shit sandwich. It
Some
doesn't
people
change
are into that.
anything. Okay, well, but that costs extra.
So they're loading up the ship. They're getting ready to go places. Poor Wes Chapman as Captain Enoch. And I know you guys talked about this last week. I remember reading about the show, and I saw that Wes Chapman was going to be in it. Wes Chapman from The Expanse, who played Amos. And I was really excited, and then I kind of forgot that he was going to be on the show. And I lost that little nugget of memory that Wes Chapman was going to be Thrawn's second in command, which is Captain Enoch. And it never dawned on me that they would waste a good actor like Wes Chapman on who anybody in the suit, Well, it's one of those things.
How do you take an actor that played a character that's essentially an emotionless killing machine, but is still you feel for and you root for, and you make him an emotionless killing machine that you do not care about?
They're going to Captain Phasma him. It's going to happen.
It just becomes nothing. Yeah, the same thing they did with that poor.
Somebody's going to break his golden face mask, and he's going to be nothing but smoke inside,
or something. Yeah. Like the other guy.
Merrick.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I do not think Merrick was Night Sister Magic. I'm going to put this out there, Mando. I told you this on commented on your video today. because there were not enough Night Sisters and definitely no Night Mothers that could do that kind of resurrection in that galaxy anymore. They're only in this new galaxy. So I don't know what he was, but I no longer think that he was Night Sister magic. But anyway, continue.
Wow.
So she just gave him the dossier on Ahsoka.
Which he should already know.
He has an encyclopedic mind. He should know this.
Well,
it's for the benefit of
including A.
This whole scene is for the benefit of the viewers who have to not seen the other stuff, which amazes me because the rest of the show is predicated on you already watching everything else,
right?
To understand it.
That's true.
So,
yes. General Anakin Skywalker was her master.
So this is again. So if he knows who some random like Baylon Skoll was a general during the Clone Wars, Anakin Skywalker, pretty much the hero of the Clone Wars, you would know he had a Padawan.
Yeah.
And that Padawan is Ahsoka Tano.
They were headline news.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
He's like the George Washington of the rebellion. You know?
Basically, yes.
Yeah.
So this is just a further degradation of the character of Thrawn.
Yeah.
And this is definitely an aside, but Roman, by the way, your picture you use of Enoch for your thumbnails, I realized what makes me think it's so out of place is it looks like it belongs in Doctor Who.
And that robot looks like a Centurion back there.
Yeah.
By your command.
By your command.
Yeah, that would actually make the show cooler.
Yes,
it wouldn't make it less good.
Which I love those. I love those.
So Thrawn is basically saying, since Ahsoka is Anakin's Padawan, that we should expect her to be, do the unexpected and unpredictable. All right, cool.
Well, his logic here is remove all. She's unpredictable, so we can't predict her.
Yes.
So we remove all variables and set her on a path of her own choosing. Okay. Well, if you're able to technically assume for all variables, then you could set her on a path of her own choosing because the only variable left.
She's not unpredictable.
But he doesn't account for all variables. It's a dumb statement. It's not Thrawn.
Okay, this is that logic in Jurassic Park when Goldblum is trying to explain chaos theory.
The water.
Yeah. The water
theory. Okay, that dude. So now we're this scene. She's trying to. Well, we're not quite there yet. She parks the boat on a fucking whale boat.
Because remember when the other ships latched onto something to hide?
The Falcon attached to her.
Yeah. Oh, did y'all notice the baby space whales?
Are they babies?
No,
or
I
is
didn't
somebody
care.
else that I saw in a different video said they're space krill?
That's probably. But they die here, so why do they need food here?
I don't know. Nothing makes sense. Don't apply logic.
Nobody expects the pergola. So they're parked there. Now we are back with Ezra and Ezra's girlfriend.
And the mobile home park.
Yep.
In the mobile home park. I don't like these little
feet up on the
animals. They're just irritating.
At least they're not pulling them like the Harfoots.
Get your feet off the
sorry,
dash.
back that up.
So I was thinking, how are
when I
these
saw
things
this,
not,
I thought
not
it was
being
hilarious.
found? Well, they each have this little antenna thing on top. So unless they're getting like HBO, I thought maybe it's some kind of jamming thing.
Disney Channel. It's Disney Channel.
Is allowing them to jam sensors or something. And they don't look that high tech, but it's a possibility. Because I just thought these things were like husks of like a crashed starship. I didn't think they were really in the previous
they're actually
episode.
Their own piece of
shit. They're little own home, and
I mean they are
like
hard. They're armored, obviously. It's actually real armor. It's not. They're not flimsily built.
Yeah, because if like they were like Ewok level of technology, then you might not be able to scan for them because everything is, biological, their buildings and their homes and such, but
Right.
they can hover and float around, and they have. Yeah, this is just dumb.
Well, not
Yeah.
only
Like
that,
many things,
but
it's
we see them scan for these later, and you see Thrawn looking at a map.
Oh, yeah, looking
Yeah,
at the whole
right.
fucking
It's
display.
got them. So the whole point that he's evaded Thrawn this entire time makes no it already
Zero
didn't make sense.
again.
But now what?
Wait, what?
What?
What happened?
I
Did something
I
bad
thought.
happen?
Oh, I heard
No,
you say
I-
something, so I thought my sound cut out or my.
Oh no.
There's no reason
I'm
they shouldn't have
silent
found him.
because I'm fuming.
Yeah.
Amanda's watching her blood pressure.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Take your
Well,
meds.
she should like this scene right here, this image right here, because that's clearly how a Mandalorian acts. Well,
Yeah, she's obviously she's ready for battle. She
Yeah.
knows they're in danger, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And she's
But-
telling
but-
Ezra that, hey, we should expect some of Thrawn's people to be coming after us because they let me go so that I would lead them to you.
Yeah,
because
I mean,
a
it was-
smart warrior would know that.
No big
How
deal.
doesn't he have a weapon? What the?
Minimum.
Oh, but and this
Like,
and this again just shows that Sabine is a selfish see you next Tuesday.
Oh yeah.
Because-
She is totally by this point in the show. She's been bit by the zombie, and she hasn't told anyone. She's
Yeah.
Yes,
fixing to
she is that
turn,
person. You're
and
right.
then
Yeah.
everyone else is going to become zombies, and that's the plot of the show as to how, you might want to say, "Hey, I saw Thrawn, and he might be coming after us.
Yeah,
and
he
some
might be
guys
coming.
after me."
He
and-
let
we do
me
get
go.
one of the,
I don't know
one of
why
the-
he just let me go to try and find you.
We do get one of the
Because-
really good lines here, though, which is
Ahsoka took me on as her apprentice.
She what? Why?
That was
Yes.
Jacob
Face
Jacob
Ezra.
Ironside when he saw this.
I mean, just in
She's more than
general.
30 years old. She should be the same age as Din Djarin at the very least, 30-something years old. Like, sure, I'm currently in a comment battle with somebody on my one of my YouTube videos talking about how she, even Rusty,
Breathe.
even if she was Rusty, she is still supposed to be more competent than what she is. She's
I mean,
like
hey,
18.
overweight old Boba Fett is better than she is.
Right. And again, Ezra presses like, how did you get here?
Oh,
Is
it's a long
Ahsoka-
story.
she gives him nothing.
How are we getting
it's
home?
Complicated.
I wouldn't.
It's complicated.
I wouldn't say he presses.
Eh?
He briefly asks and then doesn't
Yeah.
care.
No,
This
bro,
right
I'm like,
here.
how the
No
hell are we
fucking
getting
follow.
home?
For a brief second, it looked like he had a tail and long legs.
Yeah.
Like,
They are-
Sabine just
oh,
wants-
how are we getting
because-
home? Thrawn's been chasing me for the last 10 years. Where is he? Did he find you? Does he know you're here? Does Thrawn know what's going on?
Well, seeing as what Ezra's been doing, I think he probably figured out he was not doing anything and just stopped. Like, what's he doing? He's living with little turtle guys. He's zero threat.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if
But-
Thrawn really cared about him, and
He could've fucking
as
just
we
nuked the
saw,
fucking site.
obviously knew where he was because he could very easily scan for them. If he did, he would have nuked him. But
But
he still acts like he cares about him, but didn't know where he was.
Oh no, subtle.
Oh no!
Well, that explains everything.
It does, because they stopped aging her when she was 16.
Look, Sabine is just a member of a Korean boy band.
So, speaking of which, we do have a poll going tonight as to who fucked up the worst in this episode. Oh, where'd my poll go? Well, there it is. And your it's who fucked up, who had the biggest fuck up? Ahsoka, Thrawn, Shin, Hati, or Baylon. So please take part in the poll as well. Because we're coming right now. We're coming up on one of those what scenes, And that's when Baylon basically tells Shin, well, it's
bye, bitch.
Your own way.
Peace.
I do like how she looks at him. She's like, wait,
yeah, what the fuck, Baylon?
Yeah, exactly.
Look, I know they're gonna have to
go
rewrite. I know they're gonna have to rewrite to kill him. Sadly, of course, but I think of the options, I think having her do it would be the best because she's gradually looked at him more and more incredulously. Like, you're going back on your word. Why are you leaving me here? Whatever he has taught her, he is now straying
Why are we
from.
here? Why are we here?
I was like, he just basically told her like it was the 1950s. I'm going to go get a pack of smokes. He leaves with the shirt on his back and never.
Yeah, and he's like, you got this, right? I'm going to go now. Bye.
This didn't make any sense to me. I mean, just because it's pretty out of the blue. Because whatever was going to happen, I assumed he and Shin were going to be joined at the hip through this. One, because he still needs the usefulness of a Padawan to a master. It's not there. It's not just the training. You also have like a helper bee to do your other shit, and that is what she is to him. So he aces her, and he's just on his own out there with the fucking turtle people. I just don't understand why these things happen in this scene. It didn't make sense to me. And the guy on the far left behind Shin, his helmet looks like a penis, and that's bothering me a great deal now. Can't not see.
You're not the only one who made that comment.
It bothers you, but it doesn't bother me. Also,
Bobby,
I just wanted to clarify. These guys are supposed to be like the natives, right?
Yes.
That lived.
Yeah, there was
around
that they were rogue troopers who left because they didn't like the plan. You know, all the many theories which float around. None of these end up being true. Just kind of
apparently that one guy thinks he can fly because he has wings on.
Who thought they were rogue troopers? They speak an alien language. Doesn't even make any sense.
I know. Now, these are the things you read. The
that's
dead
not
troopers,
what Japanese sound like.
Rogue troopers. All the fan theories are bad about the show. The best ones have been about an angry Asian dude on the council. It makes sense that he's probably an Imperial ape. The rest of them are just kind of throwing shit at the wall.
There was so the Bobby has a comment down there. Now the prevailing theory out there is, and the one that kind of makes the most sense, which would be an easy retcon, but then again, it's another retcon. Is that Baylon is hearing a call from Abeloth, which if you are an EU fan, you know who that is. That is basically the mother from the Mortis, the ones. Only she was immortal where the ones weren't. She got left by herself, and she became this god tier entity
nightmare.
Of hate. Yeah.
Lovecraft nightmare.
Basically.
Like Cthulhu or something of that nature. Okay, I got nothing here. I just don't. For me, this was all just kind of. I mean, I just don't. It's like I assume this is. What I worry is this is going to be a pointless fucking act, and Baylon's just going to die a sad, stupid, pointless death.
I mean, he probably wouldn't have been, again, unfortunately, if the actor hadn't actually died. Now, this may be me defending something that might get me ostracized here off the panel, but I kind of took it as he's reached a point where he knows his calling's going somewhere else, and it doesn't involve her. And so he's trying, knowing that, at least in his mind, that Thrawn is a necessary evil to reach his goal, sending his apprentice off to help the guy that will eventually help him reach something. Again, I may be digging too deep and defending something that nobody in the writer's room gave half a thought to, but
I mean, even if they didn't give it half a thought to, Ray Stevens was aware enough to play it that way. I kind of took it the same way.
Yeah.
I still don't think it necessarily fully makes sense.
It's still out of the blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm worried. I was worried when he did that. I was like, okay, it's going to be one of two things. Either they've got something really cool going on, and there's like this big multi-layered plan that he has, or they're Han Solo, Luke Skywalkering him. You know, I'm going to go be the old
strong
guy.
male character. Let's
and let me
let's
just
cut his
throw
nuts
my
off.
lightsaber behind me and go drink, green
Fucking
sea,
the green
sea
tea
monster.
juice.
Fermented milk.
Yeah,
everyone wants it to be something big, but I think it's going to be basically what Dark Forces 2 Jedi Knight, where he's just looking for like the Valley of the Jedi. He's going to step into a beam of light and get overpowered.
Probably.
I don't think it's going to be anything special.
Nothing cool. Which depresses me because especially since this is like I said, this is definitely one of the last times we get to see him.
So what you're saying, Beard, is he going to go there and he's going to do something that could be like, you're unworthy. Boom, you're gone. Boom.
I am more increasing. Okay, let me just get this out of the way. I am increasingly on the team of Thrawn's going to leave this galaxy, go back to the main one to fight the Mandalorians. And Ahsoka, Sabine, and Ezra are going to stay here to fight Baylon or whatever he becomes. I think we're about to see a separation. But that's an unpopular theory.
Oh, and that's where Shin Hati joins them.
Yeah.
To do that, yeah.
I'm of the opinion that. Or
she's
go ahead.
definitely going to the other side.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. I think it is. It's gonna coalesce on Mandalore. I think that's what they're leading up to. Is everyone's gonna just kind of show up to Mandalore, Boba Fett, and
all roads lead to Mandalore.
All roads lead to Mandalore.
And
they're just going to have
the
one
Yuzan Vong show up and destroy everything.
Well,
I really hope they do.
We'll see. Well, I'm of the mind that Thrawn can't leave now unless Thrawn is vital to the construction of the First Order. Thrawn can't leave because this is a peace, right? Because this is a peacetime in the gap. Well, peacetime. In the galaxy.
I think he will leave. He will be part of forming the First Order, but will ultimately be defeated by Mandalorians. And it will all happen in the Outer Rim outside of the New Republic. So it's still a time of peace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's Claudia Black
is
there
not
in the
part
middle.
of the New Republic, so it would make sense that.
Stop it, Joker.
Wow.
I'm sure it's probably going to be the Mandalorians are trying to rebuild Mandalore, and there's going to be a call from Mandalore, like brings all the Mandalorians, brings everybody, Din Djarin, Boba Fett, everybody, and then everybody's going to duke it out, and then Thrawn's going to whimper off, find the Emperor, and build the First Order.
Because then that would give Dave Filoni his girl Bo Katan to finally be the rightful ruler of Mandalore. She is going to be.
He already was.
She'll ride the mythosaur through the heart of the Chimera.
So the old broads show up, and the blue guy's like, "Hey, show
that
me
lady, the one in the middle."
The Ahsoka is.
The one in the middle is Claudia Black.
Yeah, you can't call her an old broad.
Right. So
in the show, she's an old broad.
Now this is where I have such a problem with these three, because their powers only work when the plot needs them to.
Yep.
And when they have balls in their hands.
With their balls in their hands, right. So
ball in hand, they are trying to pinpoint where Ahsoka is.
Okay, so now they are able to pinpoint exactly where she is, and they still can't hit
based
her.
on this scene.
But
Baby Purgle, look.
But Ezra has been on this planet for 10 years,
and can't find his fucking ass.
I know, right? Now she can sense. Also going back to the last episode, the grandmothers can sense when Ahsoka has not even entered the system yet, because they can sense the Jedi, but they couldn't figure out that Baylon and Shin were Force users when they're standing right in front of them.
Pardon me, guys. Something just happened. I hang on. I don't know what that was. I'll be right back.
Okay.
He's got his balls in his hand. He's got to figure things out.
Well,
hamsters.
Well, also, like, I'm also fighting the argument of someone in my chat posted the idea of, well, Baylon brought Sabine specifically to throw off the Night Mothers from his Jedi sense. And
bullshit.
He didn't even know what the effing planet was that they were going to. How could he have the foresight to think that bringing Sabine was going to be a good idea to throw off his scent?
And wouldn't he, being of the caliber of a Force user he is, be able to detect that Sabine was like that? And wouldn't he have made a comment in their fight before, or when he was swaying her over? It's just
no one has. Everyone's trying to say like, oh, Sabine's finally a Force user, and the next scene that we're going to talk about is everyone's like, oh my god, she's not.
Bless you, Joker. Yeah, it's just. I mean, even Ezra
makes me want to beat up toys.
Why are they able to find Ahsoka and know Ahsoka's coming, but they can't find Ezra for the last 10 years?
Telling you, it's those little antennas on this little turtle car thing.
Yeah, I mean, there is a little bit, and I don't like it, but there is some canon. We're gonna dip into video games.
They're force blockers.
Yeah, we're gonna dip into video games with I forget the name of the game with Dominic Monaghan. You're
talking about the redheaded kid, right?
Yeah, whatever. Where he meets a Jedi.
Fallen Order.
Fallen Order, yeah.
Fallen Order.
Where he's like he meets Jedi who has cut herself off from the Force, and there are stories where Kenobi kind of did that too. That's how he hid.
Thrawn did it
exactly
in the games.
So
KOTOR 2.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. So there is something there where if somebody could cut themselves off from it, they could hide. But yeah,
I doubt Sabine has been trained in the Force for long enough to be able to know to do that.
Yeah, it's just
so. Josh, I know that what we're all talking about, like all this lore craziness stuff like this. Does any of it make sense to like normie who's never seen Rebels?
I forget that Josh is a normie.
Like, does anything that makes sense so far? Like the fact that they're finally, after 10 years, being able to find Ahsoka, but they couldn't find Ezra for the last 10 years. Like,
oh no,
having no idea.
That's a common sense thing that just doesn't make sense at all.
Or say you didn't see Rebels. Would you think that Sabine is 30-something years old who's fought in wars? She's
like 17. But I feel like when I'm watching the show,
like she's 17.
Yeah, when I'm watching the show, I feel like that like annoying 5-year-old that you're watching a movie with that's asking a question every 30 seconds, and you're like, "Would you shut the fuck up? They're gonna get to it." Except I just know they're not
your
gonna
average
get to
girlfriend.
Oh yeah. Right. Well, speak for yourself. But my average girlfriend isn't like yours.
So Ahsoka's
I was the girlfriend who watched all of it beforehand, and the dude was asking me the question.
We need to like pull clips from the series and do like a segment of like the annoying girlfriend asking questions, and instead of being like they're gonna get to it, just get who is that? Where did that person come from? How did they get that?
What are you
power?
thinking about?
Why are they doing that?
Yeah, and then have the boyfriend be like, I don't fucking know. I don't know where this is going.
Yeah, Joker.
By the way, a great channel to watch, Grizzy. He has been doing these videos of just showing showing reaction channels to this show, and he's done it for other shows as well. And the level of cringe is just high. Oh wow, it is ridiculous. And one of the reactions was used in a Mahler used a 3-second clip from her, and she tried to get Mahler taken down. Good luck with that.
Lord. So Ahsoka's trying to find Sabine. There. That's
this is where everyone. This is where everyone's
this is a big
like,
what
"Look,
the fuck moment, though."
Sabine.
Sabine. Where's the beam? Where's the beam?
Yeah, if I recall,
something familiar.
Yeah, the familiar line was so obvious. I literally said it out loud before she did. But the idea that this proves she's force sensitive, people go back to Leia, and if I recall correctly, at the time of filming in Empire Strikes Back, Leia wasn't intended to be Luke's sister in force sensitive.
No.
Yeah.
Lucas rewrote because he didn't know what the fuck he was doing in Star Wars.
Right.
He just wrote Star Wars, and then there was time he had to write another movie, and he came up with Empire.
I mean,
so
if
that's
you just
when he worked in the clever parts.
Yeah, if you just go like to basic magic systems, or even to X-Men, somebody who can read minds can talk to a mind without the person that they're talking to being able to do the same thing.
That was the point that I made in my video. Is like you don't have to be force sensitive to be able to receive a message on the Jedi the Force call. Like, hey, I'm calling you through the Force. Answer the freaking phone.
So they use the Force, and the witches hone in on where they are.
They found us. Don't worry, I know where we're going.
I'm sorry, I'm allergic to bullshit.
Jacob, thank you. That's wonderful.
That's fantastic.
But like, I was talking about like a Screen Rant article that's like, this is now definitive proof that Sabine is a Force user. She was able to receive a message from Ahsoka.
Mando, with all due respect, your first problem there is Screen Rant article.
Hey, by the way, in the second, sequel movie where Luke shows up, but it's not really Luke, it's his. Yeah, so everybody there saw him. They must be everybody there must be force sensitive too.
Well,
I guess so.
That's right. Yeah, ghost projected Luke.
Well, that's the thing. Well, Jacob, that's the thing, because they said in episode 2 of this that everyone has the Force in them.
Oh yeah,
everyone is force sensitive. Wrong.
So I'm gonna ask Josh, does that make sense? Like from the basic Star Wars, that second episode that says everyone can basically have the Force and use the Force. Does that make sense to non Star Wars people?
It does. I mean, look, I've seen the movies. I didn't see the sequels because I watched the first sequel and stopped after that. But I saw the prequels, and no, it doesn't make sense. However, I will say that all I kept thinking when they said that in the second episode was that they were setting up that film that's supposed to explore the discovery of the Force. And it almost, to me, reminded me of like a witchcraft type thing, that there's energy in everything and you can manipulate it. But I just
kind of like that Wicked and Mother Earth.
Yeah, but I feel like it's a lazy way of approaching the Force. Like, if you use witchcraft, fine, but the Force should be different.
Are we talking about the film that is supposed to be 25,000 years in the past?
Yeah.
The
Lord.
That film has now been put on indefinite what's the word?
Hiatus.
Definite hiatus. Yes.
I mean, to be fair, a lot of stuff that hadn't started pre-production was put on indefinite hiatus because of the strikes. So don't take
the strikes are done now. As of yesterday.
Nope, writers strike is done.
Not actors.
Actors is still going on, but
okay.
They were a lot of the stuff was put on indefinite hiatus because of that, not because of a Star Wars bombing. Yeah,
the Mangold film is not happening. I guarantee it.
Well, I mean, there's who is it? Like Ryan Johnson's supposed to have his own like movie or something, whatnot.
Three movies.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh God.
At the risk
where's Geode? I want to see Geode on the big screen.
Apparently, they have a big giant warehouse
in the
full of
vessel
cash that they need to burn by giving that guy. Just get him
at the risk of derailing the slides of Ahsoka escaping and not her plot armor engaging fully.
The plot armor is so strong in this episode. I think that's the other thing that made me so upset. The plot armor is stronger than the Force right now.
I mean, regarding the everyone can use the Force, does anybody have I'm going to say brief, and Roman, I apologize if nobody's brief, opinion on Chirrut Inway from Rogue One? Because I hadn't thought of that. So I watched something recently where somebody brought it up.
That kind of confirms that the forces. I am the forces with me, and I am in the Force or something.
Let me give my 2 cents on it. He wasn't a Force user because there's the living Force and the cosmic Force. Mm-hmm. He could listen to the cosmic Force, but he couldn't use the living Force. That doesn't mean that everybody can use the Force. It just means that it is in everybody, and everybody has different kind of affinities towards it.
Okay, so let me ask you this, Beard. Do you think the fact that he was blind allowed him to use other senses to kind of tap into that?
I mean, I'm a Daredevil fan, so sure.
Okay, I'm fine with it.
So I didn't want to derail anything, but I just want to put that kind of thought out there. I hadn't thought about it until recently.
It makes a good point. Like if the dude from Rogue One is able to like possibly utilize the Force in some way, like kind of confirms what direction Disney's going with. Everyone can use the Force, and the Force is in everybody.
Yeah, we've already established through multiple shows that they just write whatever they want without regard to canon or what effect it's going to have on the universe.
What canon?
Or what came before or logic or anything. It's just whatever is going to be cool and they think will serve the story for this next episode. It doesn't even make sense between episodes sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got
kind of
like Mando season 3 is a giant example of that.
With that. Exactly.
Oh my god, I hated
jam-packed with it. This show a little less,
season 3,
but it's still there. But we'll make up whatever we want, and that'll be the new rules. Now, granted, a lot of shows have done that in the past, like Star Trek. It'll introduce something new, but what they'll do is they'll introduce something new, and they'll either make it so that it's so rare that it can only happen once or twice, or it'll live on in the show ever after, and people refer back to it, and that will be a new rule that they follow in universe. But they don't do that in Star Wars.
No.
Well, to put things back on the track that I just derailed.
Nice job, Beard.
They drive Ahsoka out of the rings, the bone ring, and instead of continuing to fire at her, Thrawn says, well, she's going to Ezra or Sabine, and which is we placed wisely away from us, which there is no way that was his plan. It's a stupid statement. So instead of continuing to fire with the capital ship, just send the little fighters out there. The ones that can't hit anything.
The stormtroopers with the stormtrooper.
This part here.
Oh yeah.
Are those friends of yours?
Getting to the parting of ways.
And she gets put out like, oh, those people.
And here it is. That's when, and this is when Baylon dismisses.
That's the look that she gave him. Like, wait, cigarettes?
What the fuck, dude? Seriously?
I will.
You're not coming back from getting the milk, are you, Dad?
Right.
Yeah, I'm going out for ice cream. I'll be right back.
As like out of left field as this felt, I do think it's the most interesting thing that could have happened to her character.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
So we're going to come up on a series of fuck ups soon, though. Which left me head scratching.
I'm waiting for one. Look, not being a Star Wars person, am waiting for one to be like, what the fuck? But carry on.
Oh, I'm waiting for the scene that I'm going to lose my mind and I'm going to have a freaking aneurysm and a heart attack all at the same time.
Mando, have you taken your blood pressure medicine?
Actually, I have taken my blood pressure medicine.
All right, take another one.
All right, off with you then, Shin Hati. I've had enough of you.
Yep, exactly. I'm hankering for a cigarette.
I'm low on the vice, so ducka. All right, I'll go.
The doctor's like, why is your blood pressure higher than it was last time? I don't know. I'm watching Star Wars.
You will taste man flesh.
Well, bye, Dad. Goodbye, Shin
Bye,
Hati.
Dad. I hope you come back from getting the milk.
Talking about ambition. How rushing into the situation can actually make things worse, which, that's not really much. It's kind of common sense advice. It's like something you'd hear on Vulcan.
I mean, it's stupid advice because it's obvious, but it makes sense for in this universe for Dark Jedi, which are overly ambitious and don't think about consequences and things like that. I didn't hate the line. It was obvious, but I didn't hate it.
It was obvious, I did say that his hair looks really good in this scene.
Yeah, it was.
I agree. I thought that like his hair and his beard were on point in this.
Yeah, the man just looks really good. Makes me question things.
I mean, he's an older gentleman, but
I was gonna say
he's only a couple years older than me. Well, he's dead.
Well,
now.
Don't ask me my
I'm
opinions
30.
on you.
I was going to say about Baylon Skoll's line is that yes, while it seems obvious, it also feels like the obvious thing that needed to be said to Shin Hati with them parting ways. And it did come across as like the only thing I owe you at this point is this observation of you, because Shin Hati has been very kind of hot-headed and a little too ambitious and a little overconfident.
But most of the time she still does whatever her master says.
Yeah, but I'm talking about in her altercations when he's not there, she gets overconfident and she gets too ambitious. And that's his kind of warning to her.
It's not hard to do when you're fighting Sabine.
Well, I mean, fair, but she lets.
I get your point, Josh.
Yeah,
she
lets her arrogance get the best of her.
Right.
See, Joker's not totally a madman.
See, I can't do that with mine anymore. He's too big. And he'll knock over everything out here.
It's your baby hyena.
Yeah, Josh, I do agree with you. It is really obvious and it's awkward, but it actually kind of fits in with some of the original Star Wars movies where like Yoda's talking to Luke and saying the obvious thing, and Luke is being a dumbass. So I don't hate it.
I want to know if what's his name's mask like flips around and it's a smiley face.
Oh, Enoch.
So they're all loading into the ship here, and as we've seen before,
aim.
Thrawn's the dialogue. They're very one-dimensional.
Well, also, didn't he also, like the previous episode or maybe 2 episodes ago, send 2 units out already?
Last episode.
Yeah.
And again, I did like the look of this, though. I also like the fact that they're using drop ships.
They look good.
I thought that was cool.
That's from Rebels. That's from Rebels.
Yeah,
right?
And that's an updated. That's not the same ship they used in Clone Wars. It's a slightly updated
it's
design.
a newer model.
Right.
Well,
They did have that ship toward the end of Clone Wars.
I mean, they had to have it, obviously, because Thrawn got yeeted out of the fucking universe at some point. Yes, Josh.
Okay, maybe I'm an idiot and maybe I'm not understanding, but Thrawn just called off some fighter jets saying there's enough distance, we're good, and now he's sending two ships of troops in only to like pull them right back for the same reason am I missing something here?
Yeah.
No.
He should have just sent out some bombers.
It's
Thrawn.
How about some TIE fighters?
Is to just keep them busy. And I think that's all he's trying to do.
The other thing,
my point is, like, he had the jets that could have just easily done that, but he called them.
He could have just killed everybody, Josh.
Well, I mean that too.
He could have fucking wiped out everybody on the ground with the fighters.
Look,
we're not fucking turtle people, man. They ain't that speedy.
Look, I'm willing to suspend disbelief enough that we're not going to do that because we have to have a show. Fine, whatever. But to be like, call the fighter jets off. We've created enough distance. We're fine. To then send people in to then be like, call them back. We've created enough distance and we have enough time. We can leave. Makes no fucking sense.
I mean, it's the same logic we're about to see with Sabine when she has 2 blasters, runs in towards people.
Range. Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, I jump ahead.
This next scene drives
Here's
me.
the part I kind of was thinking about. This is all I could think about when I saw this scene with the drop ships coming out. They've been out here 10 years. I'm like, they must have had a crap ton of spare parts with them on that ship.
And
well, I'm just going to say this. I mean, so 10 years, and now that from the sequels and in Mando, fuel is now an issue.
They made.
Well, I mean, not
I didn't know what the
apparently,
fuel was, so I thought
according
maybe
to-
they could have got it off the planet somehow, or
because
a gas giant or
because
something.
because the fuel as has now been retconned and everything is Tabana gas, which is from
I've had that.
Cloud City. But
I thought that was from Taco Bell.
No,
I'm sorry.
There's no way.
Guys.
Is that the only place it comes from?
I believe
Guys,
so.
Let me try and pull up the comment from my other video that talks about it.
Yeah, that's
How do-
totally impractical.
how do I know this and y'all
It is.
don't? If
Obviously cared a lot more about
if well farts send you through
Yeah.
hyperspace, what
Right.
do you think well jizz does? I mean, come on. Fuel.
All right, Enoch, I'm gonna need you to go out there and give that whale the old.
Remind me.
I don't-
So
I
starships are fueled by polystyrene, right? That's what it is.
Tabana gas.
Now, what they use for their jump drive and what they use for their in like sublight engines is different fuel, right?
Take care, brother.
I think so, but just in general, even if it was a common fuel they use for just power generation in order to power the repulsor lifts to hover above a planet, not be in orbit for the 3 days that they were there to load things, is a massive amount of fuel.
Right.
Yes.
So for over 10 years, for them to be able to re-enter the atmosphere is unbelievable if they're going to go with the new fuel kind of idea.
Right. And to get onto that space ring, they've got to reach escape velocity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Why are her blasters different colors?
It was that way in Rebels too.
Rebels.
It was that
I
way
don't
too.
hate it.
Yeah, but
Okay, but
this,
now
this
which
scene.
which chase is slower, this one or the Vespas?
Vespas.
The Vespas, yeah.
or the Leia chase.
Oh yeah, God.
Oh,
Why?
Wow. Oh, Jacob, you naughty boy, you. That is just. Well, Bobby, thank you.
Bobby. Yes.
Yes.
One of 2 navigation beacons.
Because they don't know which way up.
I just can't believe that they made the fuel for all starships come from one planet. That doesn't make any.
It doesn't
damn
make sense.
No,
it
how would
doesn't.
you even have gotten there in the first place?
No.
Unless all people originated on that planet.
In the private chat, I posted the dude's
my-
comment about
Right.
fuel in my video. So, I don't know if that's true or
And
not.
then
'cause
they
that
go
didn't
full
sound
wagon
right.
train here.
Right.
Absolutely.
Which when they circle the wagons, don't they have people in the gaps that
Yes,
that the wagons
shooting back.
Weapons.
Yes.
Yeah, they just made like a little egg farm here. That's all. It
These
looks like.
these
Yeah.
these
It
guys,
serves no
first off,
purpose.
they knew they couldn't outrun the dog thing, so why they didn't do this in the first place?
Yes.
Secondly,
exactly.
apparently they're so peaceful they don't have any weapons whatsoever.
Slingshot.
And Ezra has
Callback.
like totally taken on that
Doesn't even have a stick.
that motif because he doesn't have any weapons either.
No, Ezra's
he
gone
has the
full
force.
peaceful monk.
Yeah,
Okay, now-
we're getting
Well,
to the part
you
that
can
I hate.
afford to do that when Thrawn doesn't look for you for 10 years.
I think
Now-
Ezra's been smoking a little too much space pot. I mean,
Probably.
And I'm gonna say this in the upcoming fight scene when Ezra says, the Force is my ally, blah blah. Ezra now has the ultimate range weapon, the Force. Why
Yes.
is he even engaging hand to hand? He should just be
Right? Why
lifting
is he not
folks.
just lifting up boulders and just chucking them at people? He has the force.
If you want to
Just
see,
lift up the chuck it.
if you want to see what a force user hand-to-hand combat can be, you go back to not the Clone Wars, but Clone Wars, the Genndy
Yes.
Tartakovsky
Yes.
animated
I
stuff,
love
Mace
that.
Windu.
where
Mace
Mace
Windu.
Windu gets
Oh, yeah.
separated from his lightsaber.
that was
And
He
just
jumps
goes-
down into the circle of battle droids and dismantles them with his hands in the force.
Bruh.
That is what we should have seen here.
You see Yoda like in combat, like he brings out his lightsaber, but like, bruh, like he doesn't do.
That would have been the only thing that would have made me like this scene where he says, "I don't need a lightsaber," and he just rips all these guys apart. No problem.
Like, all you have to do is just rip them apart, like just throw droids. And stuff. He could take those ships and just rip them in half.
I was really hoping for some like crouching tiger, hidden dragons stuff or whatever.
Yes.
This brings up whole other questions that Ezra should have asked right now.
Yep.
What
the fuck?
Who are these people and why are they after
Who are they?
He says, like you, but
without a sense of humor.
Yeah, without a sense of humor. And he goes, lightsaber? She says, yes. His question should have been, who has a lightsaber in this galaxy on this planet?
Mm-hmm.
Who did you bring with you?
How did they get here?
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
who are they? How did they get there?
What have you done? He should have said, "What have you done?"
So
yes,
this is like some kind of reptilian face here. That's not a helmet. That's a helmet. That's a frog face.
Yeah, I think those things are just bigger versions of the little turtle guys.
Ezra.
And what's with his blue eyes? His blue eyes look terrible.
Well, that was in.
I know, but they look like they look bad here.
Yeah,
I didn't even notice. I didn't even think they would have bothered with that. I mean, why? Nothing else is right.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say this. Because this completely contradicts what Ezra said earlier. Was when Ezra said to Sabine, "Wait, what? Why? Because you have no force abilities." But then he says, I don't need to my lightsaber. I haven't trained. You have, but you still acknowledge he has no force abilities.
You're looking for a lot.
Here's your lightsaber. Here's your weapon back. Oh, I don't need it. It's like 5 minutes later. I need to grab a blaster.
Terrible.
This looked bad. This was one of the few visual complaints I have about this show.
Looks aside, and the sliding being dumb, everything else aside, we were supposed to believe that she could jump multiple stories from a balcony on Corellia and land fine, do this fine, but she was thrown off a cliff into water and basically died.
Well, also, like, she in the Clone Wars, like, they would jump, like, they would make mile leaps. Like,
one of the last episodes of the Clone Wars, she jumps out of a ship.
Onto Mandalore!
Oh, yeah, onto another ship.
From the atmosphere, she jumps out of a ship from the atmosphere onto Mandalore. And when she jumps out of this little ship, she just has to, like, drop down a little bit, and she just rolls like she's never jumped out of a ship in her life.
I would not hate this shot if she hadn't nearly died in water.
Right. She got thrown off a cliff into water. Oh, but I can jump from the atmosphere of a planet onto the mainland and not die.
Scene
but I can
in one of the Clone Wars.
Just kill me in the water.
There's a scene in one of the Clone Wars episodes where she jumps off a wall and uses the Force to slow herself down.
Yeah.
Right, and as Matt said, but you can even go to Obi-Wan on Naboo. That jump he made up, the jump he made up to get back to Qui-Gon and Maul.
Look at Kenobi and Qui-Gon in the very first prequel movie when they
the drop down.
And they jump up too. They use Force jump to jump up after they come off of the Republic cruiser, like they're in the hangar bay. And they run fast and all that kind of stuff. It's like these people have never watched or played any of the games from like previous stuff. It's maddening.
And this is also the part that I get so upset is when folks are like, "Oh my God, Dave Filoni, you genius!" And like Dave Filoni doesn't even understand Star Wars anymore.
So this fight right here,
yes,
one, is meaningless and did not need to happen.
Agreed.
And
Correct.
2, the Ahsoka at one point
Yes,
full
Zax, it is.
on. I'm not going to grab my lightsaber from behind me, but she like holds her lightsaber behind her, puts her back straight towards Baylon, literally like 12 inches from him, and he hits her lightsaber. It's just.
It's because he doesn't want to kill her.
I don't know. He doesn't want to kill her.
He doesn't want to kill her.
That's why when they have this opening exchange, and he sees her, and he's still alive, and she's like disappointed, and he's like, no.
Yeah, he's like, he's not.
Have you getting in the way.
The whole thing with him is he for whatever reason, he respects her. When everyone tries to talk bad about her or we need to get rid of her or whatever, he's like, okay, but I really don't want
That'd be such a waste.
It'd be such a waste, exactly.
When you look at like old samurai movies, you have enemies that respect each other and they're still going to kill each other.
Right.
But I think
and I don't. Why here would he even bother fighting her?
He wouldn't.
He lit his lightsaber first. He went on the attack if he did not want to kill her. This is a stupid fight. It did not need to happen. Just have Baylon run off to whatever power source that he's going to search, and then have Ahsoka tied up in like the air combat or whatever, and then land later on. This did not need to happen. It's dumb.
When you saw this, did you think she was going to kill him? When you saw this start?
I thought
he was dead.
Yeah, I thought he was going to get in here.
No, I thought he.
No. My big problem is this: what form is she using? What is this? What is this? What is this?
That's called windmill form.
Jesus Christ! What is this? What is this? Jesus Christ pose here?
She also needs to take the cloak off because it's flammable and it's in the way.
I know what's going on. She's her little AI avatar was T-posing.
Probably.
It was just a bug.
If I had to be really generous, her pose would have been like Obi-Wan fighting Grievous, but instead of the overhand with a second lightsaber behind. But that's me being really generous.
And then back with the pod people.
Back to the trailer part.
Take your lightsaber. Oh, here we are.
Can I bitch about this as a non-Star Wars fan?
Yes.
Look, I didn't even understand the fact that his force powers are as strong as they're supposed to be, and then don't get represented here in the show. But the idea that someone tried to hand a Jedi a lightsaber and he says no when there's potentially another Jedi that he has no idea how talented or skilled they are.
Yeah. I know why.
I was cussing at the TV.
I know why he did that. Why he let her keep the lightsaber. Because she's trash with her pistols. So maybe she's better with the lightsaber.
But she should not be this. Oh my God, she has no idea what the hell she's doing. She just, I can't shoot worth the crap, so let me take out the glowy sword that I don't know how to use and just try and fight people because I'm as good as shot as those stormtroopers.
Somebody call Mando's neighbors, tell her she's okay.
I was about to say, when you're watching network television news and then they have that news story come on where someone's like cussing every 3 words, that's what Mando sounds like because it just keeps cutting in and out.
Well, here's my 2 cents on this thing. If they wanted to have Sabine keep that lightsaber, they should have had Ezra somehow have constructed something else.
Yes.
Oh, a new native style lightsaber.
Like created like one of the
just a sword.
Universe, like a proto saber where they have the power pack on their side and a cord connected to it. Something like that.
Or even just a sword. They used to.
A stick.
And I think it was Star Wars theory, which I don't always agree with. I mentioned on Twitter today that when Rey handed her or Luke's lightsaber back to him, he were to have said, "The Force is my ally," that would have made a lot more sense, because in the old canon, Jedi Masters kind of eschewed lightsabers because they had grown beyond it. Now that eventually kind of got written out, but that would have made a lot more sense for that character than Ezra, who was at best a half-trained Jedi Knight.
Which
Yes.
and going back to your point, you go to Attack of the Clones, Dooku and Yoda. When they are battling using the Force first, and then Dooku says, I see this battle will not be won by our knowledge of the Force. So you get to a certain point, your lightsaber is kind of like your last resort. You're like, all right, fine. We're going to go
Dooku
back.
says your sword is as big as mine.
Now,
yes.
So the only thing that I could see as to why Ezra wouldn't need a lightsaber is if somehow this planet had something on it that enhanced your Force abilities to like God.
Yeah, right.
And he's been here for 10 years and he like found it, or it's been like seeping, percolating into him or something. And he's been training without a lightsaber since he didn't have one. There's no kyber crystals. And, but at least he should have had like a staff or.
But
something.
Well, now Shieldwall, now that might make a little sense because Ezra does something that we've never seen before. When he can make a lightsaber blade warp.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah,
I will say looks cool, but is stupid.
Right.
Okay, we have nothing to say here. This is again the fight that didn't have to happen.
Right.
In this same show, Ahsoka does that to the lightsaber and it doesn't warp.
Yes.
I want to
continuity, people.
I just want to say this could have at least redeemed itself had it been a good lightsaber fight. Like had Ahsoka come out like really giving it her all, had it been done and executed well, and Baylon was still just kind of like, you're not good enough, even if he doesn't say it, just by his actions. It really could have been at least like, well, hell, at least that was a kick-ass lightsaber fight. But it's not. It's filmed. So much of it's filmed so up close, like it's so tight that you can't really see. You can't tell there's choreography there. It just looks like flailing around, and
it's because they don't want to show good light. Because that fight would take away from this shit show.
Okay, earlier someone mentioned using the Force to like rip ships apart. Is the Force strong enough for people to do that?
Yes.
Okay.
It has been shown in both canon and in lore that you can use the Force to pull back a starship or use it to rip apart things.
Literally pulled a.
That's a game. That's a game, though.
Yeah. It depends on where the source material you're pulling from. In the books, there were characters that could like push starships into like gas giants and pull them back out. In the games, Starkiller was way overpowered and could pull a Star Destroyer down to a planet. I didn't like that even back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little too Dragon Ball Z.
There we go.
Yeah. In the games there are Force users that can literally drain the life force of entire planets.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I'm not saying it needs to be that strong, but come on, he should be able to throw one person around. Yeah. No problem.
Well, yeah, all right. Look, if he's gonna say all I need is the Force, he should have had more power than what he had. But at the moment earlier when they first stopped and he said "circle up," I'm not gonna lie, I actually got excited because I thought pretty much Shieldwall's name, creating that circle of shields, and I was like, they're probably gonna try to do the sneak attack through these little like pods first. And then when he was like, I don't need the lightsaber, I've got the Force. I was like, dude, this guy's about to go ham, like either throwing people around or using these pods. When I realized it wasn't a full circle, I was like, maybe he's going to use these pods as weapons. And that didn't happen either.
I thought that too. I thought he was going to use the Force to lift him up and then just sling him around like a wrecking ball.
I hated his hair getting singed. That was fucking stupid.
I thought he was going to get angry.
His hair would have kind of fired.
Yeah, I thought he was going to do like I wanted to see him force people, force lightning.
He could have just lifted her up and just thrown her.
No, he just started
taking the lightsaber from her. I mean, and taking her lightsaber.
Something.
But no, you can't have. But remember, the Force is female. You can't have males stronger than females.
But at least have Sabine look like she actually knows what the hell she's doing.
Okay. Oh, whoa.
Yeah, that guy will laugh that off. He should just
he's gonna be fine. Like, hey, Jerry, I broke my leg. It's fine.
Orkai in Lord of the Rings, because lightsaber through the chest doesn't do anything.
Fucking stupid.
But also,
obviously,
his whole his fucking head is smoking.
Obviously, that character is a male.
Yeah,
have to be. The other thing that I was so upset about, and I think this is maybe like a second after this or something, she finally uses her flamethrower.
Yeah.
Nothing.
It
doesn't do anything.
Yeah. I literally thought of you, Mando. I was like, well, there's the flamethrower, and that was kind of weak.
Like, why is she not just flamethrowing everybody, just lighting everybody on fire?
Range weapon, which would make sense, but no.
Yeah, and he delivers a really not so clever line. Doesn't look so good for you, as the troopers are coming in.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Was Ezra?
I know what.
Was Ezra this hammy on the shows? Like he just kind of looks like a. Okay,
then he gets thrown like a bitch though by her because he's back.
Yeah, I had a problem with that.
Throws him back into the fucking ship. Wunk, thunk, on the ground.
But on the shows, Josh, he was younger. He was supposed to be kind of.
He's like what,
hammy.
12, 13 in the show.
Yeah, until the very end, where like everybody, including Sabine, started seeing him as this adult, powerful, and respectable
because
Jedi.
The story made him be that way.
Yeah, exactly.
He had to be that way in order to survive and do what he was doing. And yes,
Bobby, that too. Yeah.
Yep. He knows they suck now. That's why he was like, I don't need that thing. This is a flashlight.
So at this point, Baylon tells her you can't win. And she's like, maybe I didn't need to.
And Bobby, you are correct. Sabine should have a lot of options in her gauntlets.
She used the little laser rope or whatever that thing is. One of the previous episodes. I don't know if that like runs out or something.
Not really. So with the Mandalorian armor, it is supposed to specifically counteract certain things that Force users are capable of, like the flamethrower, the cable with the electricity, like jetpacks. It's supposed to be able to saber dart, like
to give
all
range,
of the things
to give range.
Yeah.
To get out of the range of a lightsaber.
I just want to say a couple frames ago, the position Baylon's lightsaber's in versus hers, he would have sliced her in half. She's reaching back. There's no power right here.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry. I know it's a nitpick, but it's dumb.
I'm fully under the belief that he's not trying to kill her. It's the only reason she's alive.
Yeah. I'm not. I don't buy that. I mean, if you do, great. I just don't.
I believe it because I feel like more things than not have kind of leaned that way. The only thing that like fucks it up is when he kicks her off the cliff thinking it killed her, and then her coming back and him being like, "Oh, I didn't expect to see you."
See, if you kicked any regular Jedi off a cliff into some water, you would expect that they didn't die.
Oh no, agreed.
You know what I mean? Just like
I just kicked you
into the
water.
Yeah.
Like, I just pushed you into the pool.
Obi-Wan in Revenge of the Sith when his men turn against him.
Granted, there's jagged rocks. It is a far fall. You could be unconscious and drown or something. But for the most part, a trained Jedi, that should not be an issue for you. Unless he
someone who was trained by Anakin Skywalker.
Maybe he thought her head boobs would sink her to the bottom. I don't
probably.
All right, Bobby.
But like he knows that she is trained by Anakin Skywalker, the most legendary Jedi of the Jedi Order. Like you just pushed her off the cliff. Sure.
Hey, Copa.
Hey, Copa.
Yo.
Also, Huyang doesn't pop weapons; he pops flares. I'm not an Air Force guy, but that's
like flare or help me out here.
Not to make anyone depressed, but looking at this photo makes me wish Ray Stevens were still alive and we're going to be in the Highlander movie. Can you imagine?
Oh yeah.
Can you imagine?
That would look great.
Who would he play?
I don't know. I just put him in.
He could play the.
Him and Henry Cavill. Are you kidding?
Like, doesn't matter.
He would be the what is my brain going? No,
Kurgan?
he would be the
what was Sean
Mentor.
Connery's character?
the Sean Connery character. Yes.
Oh,
I forget his name.
Ramirez.
Ramirez.
Yeah, Ramirez, the
They
Spanish
could 100%
Scotsman.
pull that off.
The
Without even
Spanish
doing anything.
Egyptian-
Just roll in to the set, dressed looking like this.
So we know you just came in from Star Wars. Just wear the same fucking thing, dude. All right, I'm game. Have any beer?
Hey, you don't even got to change. Yeah.
And then he gets this look, though. This is at the end of all this, after she leaves, his expressions are leave you with a question as to what is he picking up? What vibe is he getting here?
Yeah, it's like there's a sound he can hear that moves around.
Yeah, it's something else. Ezra just wakes up from getting his ass kicked. Turtle Man pops out. Whatever. Fuck off. And now the troopers land on wherever the fuck. And this is the scene we're talking about. Here's the pods. Here's his 2 drop ships. And then over here are the Turtle Men. So he knows where everybody is.
Yeah.
Even down to the fact that Baylon isn't there.
Yeah.
There's a mercenary missing.
Yeah.
What
This is what I was referring to earlier that makes no fucking sense.
Right.
This is the thing? Sorry.
God. Fighting.
Sabine should be dead 20 times over.
Yeah, she should. And Ezra finally
One
pulls
could
the
wish.
beam out as she's about to get cut in half.
That's the flamethrower moment.
And there she does the
Should have
flamethrower.
just. I
You know, Copa, you got a point. The clones weren't exactly competent.
one of those. The main thing, like I've said this before, like, but most of the weapons that a Mandalorian has are supposed to counteract a Jedi. The flamethrower specifically is one of those things that you are supposed to use against a Force user to disorient them. Like, oh yeah, you're gonna try and use your Force mumbo jumbo. Well, I'm gonna shoot fire at your face. Counteract that.
I mean, at that specific, she definitely should have used it many times before, but that's at that specific moment. Yeah, it kind of makes sense because she thought she was on her back. She didn't know Ezra was going to pull her free, so it did make sense for her to fire off her flamethrower.
Here we go with another cartoon moment.
So now they're surrounded.
Yeah, and we get a cartoon moment. Oh, wait, let's talk. It's like,
Oh God, I hated that. Yeah, Ezra's take us prisoner. Take us prisoner.
When they started surrounding, I literally thought he was going to say lightsaber, and I wanted that so bad.
That would make sense.
And it didn't happen.
They have nowhere to go.
Look, I'm going to be honest. Watching this show, I haven't had moments of being like really angry because of how stupid the storytelling is, and this episode got me there. Like this was the first episode where I was verbally being like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And I'm not the Star Wars guy, but I know well enough this doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
I mean, his reaction there does kind of play to his cartoon character, but it's been 10 years. He's an adult.
He's not a child anymore.
His reaction in my mind would be what you said, Josh, is lightsaber.
And this is not a cartoon,
right?
And it's not One Piece.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's even stalling here because I don't think he even knows Ahsoka is coming.
No.
He's just running off at the mouth, acting like a moron. And then Ahsoka shows up and saves their ass.
Well, she blasted 3 troopers with the Force, and none of the other troopers, despite being told to fire, bother firing.
Yeah.
She's literally standing there.
Yeah, I think we'll just stand here. Okay.
Like, oh, well, there's a stormtrooper right behind me. I have no helmet. I'm easily gonna get shot with all of that.
Fire. You're still,
which is weird because she's had already engagements multiple times. No one's taken a shot at her head.
No. Well, no one's taking a shot at anybody in this fucking scene. Nobody. And so now angry Sabine and Ahsoka's not even using her lightsaber. She's just fucking using the Force because she knows
Shin is an apprentice.
Or Sabine. I'm sorry. Shin Hati. Yeah, she knows Shin Hati is not her level.
Right.
So she doesn't even have to bother.
Which is also why I don't understand why Ezra had such a hard time dealing with her.
Again,
he is supposed to be at least a level above her.
Okay,
this
now,
just is.
I have a question.
We just sat on this planet with these turtle dudes and didn't do jack squat for 10 years.
Yep,
Famous Bean. They've all just been quietly just staying in their little holes.
I have a question. Why has it taken why hasn't 3 starfighters been able to shoot down a shuttlecraft that's being piloted by a droid for almost 20 minutes?
Yeah, and he's not even like an astromech droid like R2. I can kind of excuse a droid made for piloting being able to do something like that. But droids do not have intuition. As he said for many times throughout the series, Jedi protocol. He's going by coding. He's going by protocol. He doesn't think outside of that box.
Yeah.
He would have been shot down so fast.
Yes.
And now Ezra has a gun because he didn't want his.
Because apparently the Force isn't his only thing.
I don't understand why he didn't just go, Sabine, lightsaber. You use the guns because you're supposed to be more capable with guns.
Yeah, the last time I saw you, you were good with these guns.
Yeah.
Also, some people, again, kind of, I think, tying back to because I watched your video earlier today, Mando. Some people are saying that these are not zombie troopers because they didn't evaporate into smoke whenever they died. I'm chalking that up to studio laziness. They're still going to go for it.
Yeah.
But they were just too lazy to do it.
Yeah, they've done a very bad job representing it because right now they're just dying like regular troopers.
Because
everything they're doing right now is regular trooper stuff.
Because if they're not
take more hits or something, if they're zombies,
even if they're not zombie troopers, that makes the red wrappings and their cracked armor even more ridiculous and stupid.
Why? Yeah, exactly.
It looks like red tape that they used to just tape together their armor like band-aids.
Because Thrawn would never allow his troops to be out of military dress code unless, in doing so, he no longer had troops.
And this is and
right.
Again, if you watch this with the captions on, whenever they're talking, it says Night Trooper.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, so that gives it away. Yeah.
So they're night sisters, or
they are undead. They use they use what's it called?
Magic.
Necromancy. Yeah.
It's called bad juju.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, they've done a
TV,
terrible
we
job
talked about that.
representing that, though. They have.
Oh yeah.
It's because that's not the it's not the vibe that I get. Like I said, yes, they're out of here. It looks like they've just had a rough time of things while they've been out in the wild for so long. But I don't get any undead vibe from these guys. So it's
not at all. Not at all.
It's kind of wasted. So now Thrawn's telling her, "Hey, we're gonna fucking bug out," and she's like, "But why? We can't just leave them
because she has used her most precious commodity, time, and she has
they're
none.
almost
we
done.
are ready to go."
Maybe I'm remembering. Maybe I'm remembering incorrectly too. Maybe it was one of us on the panel. But was it us in a previous stream that said this, or was it Thrawn that said Ezra Ezalu's thread was like a threat?
Me, I said that.
Okay, never mind. All right, cool. Carry on.
Well, now that we've seen everything that he can do, I don't believe that anymore.
Well, that's true too.
Yeah, because Thrawn and Ezra are on the same planet for 10 years, and now they're having an issue.
His performance
is that one of the
yeah, he's not a threat.
Is that one of the drones from what's it called? Sonic?
I don't understand the point of this thing. I know what it does. I know what it's what it in the show. It basically sends the message that they need to recall the troopers. So you don't need this motherfucker though.
Oh, I think that's also the sensor thing that's letting Thrawn see everything.
Okay.
Maybe I can accept that easier than but they show it like it's doing the recall.
Yeah, because it starts making noise, and they look up at it.
Yep.
They've got radios
And
in
they're
their
like,
helmet.
well, it's time to go, boys. I'm sorry, I had the wrong clip. I'm a fucking idiot. They leave the fucking planet.
All right, play it up. Play it up again. It's time to go, boys. There you go.
Basically the same thing in reverse.
This whole thing with Sabine walking around with the lightsaber and Ezra with the pistol it pissed me off so much.
I know.
It makes no sense. Why does the Jedi not have the Jedi weapon? Like literally in the prequels, they beat it into your head that like, a Jedi needs to have his lightsaber. It's an extension of their person.
Again, it would have made a lot more sense for him
this
to
weapon
have
is
like,
your life.
Yeah,
this
like
weapon
that.
Is your life.
Like have him sit and meditate and discover something that's either a kyber crystal or something that functions the same way and create.
He would have made another lightsaber.
He's not strong enough with the Force not to need his fucking lightsaber. He's not.
Yeah.
No,
because there are substitutes for kyber crystals. A great dragon pearl is a substitute for a kyber crystal.
Yes.
And now Ahsoka is offering,
come with us. I can help you.
Look,
and
I called it.
Like,
she didn't go now, but she will. She will become an anti-hero sort of ally. I guarantee you.
Run away! Run away!
It's not retreating; it's advancing.
I can help you. Yeah, like you helped your Padawan. Yeah, no, because you suck as a team.
Right? Teacher. Like, yeah, this chick is my Padawan.
What the fuck is she doing here?
Hang on, I can help you because this bitch ain't got the Force.
Which is why she's holding her back. Like, bitch, you're gonna
she will fucking kill you, Sabine. Stop.
Well, didn't Ezra?
By the way,
well,
they have replaced Luke with Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Yes, I said that in my video. Yep. Ahsoka is the new Luke because that was the whole point. Like that was the callback of Luke saying, I can help you. Come back to the light side. That's exactly what this was supposed to represent.
Zax, you're right. Zax.
Show
it. Show it, Roman. Show it.
All right, Samuel. Damn you.
Again, this is just playing into the fact that these characters, at least Ezra, but probably all three, aren't going to leave this planet with at least one of these Dark Jedi.
Agreed.
Because they already know they can't be in the universe from what comes. In Rogue One, we know that Harrison Dula is there because they mentioned that. That's why she's not here, because she has to be there. And this would give, if Disney wants to give Dave Filoni basically a free pass, he's got his own universe to do things in that doesn't contradict the main Star Wars universe. And like I said, you're going to get Thrawn back. The Mandalorians are going to fight him in the Outer Rims. Nobody's going to know. And these three are going to start a whole new story.
Yep. They're going to start a whole new Jedi enclave. It's
They're going to find the true source of the Jedi or something.
Because
I bet you they're going to find Cal Kestis somewhere out there too.
Because
now Dave.
Nope, they don't need any more men.
Because now Dave can play in his own sandbox now.
He took his marbles and went home.
Everybody hugs, and that's
oh my god, it's so great.
Oh my gosh, you're alive, Ahsoka. Like, I didn't think that you could survive a small
By
leap
the
off
way,
of a cliff.
Which Ahsoka, how did you get here? Bitch, you haven't told him?
Well, not only that, she says, "I thought you were dead."
Yeah.
She hugs Ezra. He goes, "Wait, you thought she was dead?" And all she says was very smugly, and if I may say so, smugly, bitch. Clearly, I was wrong. Explain your dumb ass to what you did to these people.
Like,
so
how did you get here, and why are there these weird other Force users that are coming after us?
You've left out a lot in our interaction, Sabine. I'm just saying. I give, you give. That's the way this should go.
And Ahsoka, Sabine was your Padawan? Why?
But she got that Force call that
Ahsoka took me on as her apprentice.
She what? Why?
Exactly, but she was able to receive the Force call that Ahsoka did, and so now she's a Force user because she was able to receive the Force call.
If Ezra was such a powerful Force user, right? If Sabine can talk to Ahsoka, maybe it's because they have a Master Padawan link or something, or somehow that Ezra is masking his
actual abilities
or otherwise, how come she couldn't find him?
That's the only explanation out of it, because Huyang said, "Do you think your bond is strong enough?"
Right. Yeah.
And
do you think your bond is strong enough?
But I mean, if you have another powerful Force user on the planet, that it seems like that would be easier to reach out to. But if you go back to Empire Strikes Back, even at that point, I don't know that Luke and Leia's bond would have been stronger than a Master and Padawan sort of.
They were brother and sister, though. So that might explain it.
Yeah, but they didn't know it. They didn't spend
but
time
it doesn't
together.
matter if they knew it or not. It's that they were. I don't know.
I have heard this. I have heard this theory that goes back to Empire when Luke takes off to go to Cloud City, and Obi-Wan, his Force ghost, said, that boy was our last hope. And Yoda says, no, there is another. That Filoni is going to try and tie that back into, he's talking about Ahsoka. The entire.
I'm out.
But I mean, like that whole scene, that whole thing of, hey, I can help you. I'm the new Luke Skywalker. See, I was trained by Anakin Skywalker, so that basically makes me the same as Luke Skywalker. Because
and again, this is Dave Filoni. Would that shock you?
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't because Sabine is supposed to be the new Tar Vizsla, but she has no Force capabilities. But she's been given a lightsaber, and she can't do. She's not a good Mandalorian. How is she going to be a good Jedi if she can't even be a good Mandalorian? Who are trained to go exactly against Force users. Their entire arsenal is specifically designed to go against Force users, and she can't even do that.
What is that?
Mando. Static.
Mando, I think you broke your shit. No, I still hear it. Everybody else hears that too, right?
I'm muted.
Yeah.
It might have been the raccoons on Jacob's side.
That's what it was.
Wasn't me. It was not me.
The raccoons.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
That's me. Sorry.
Yeah.
The raccoons have struck again. Sorry.
I went and got this because
is it too loud?
It is loud.
Yeah, it's whatever it is. It's very audible.
Yeah, I can do this with the real thing if that's what's going to happen.
It's like lightsaber through the fucking eye.
I'm gonna take my Witcher sword.
So for me, and we need to start wrapping up here, so I don't get an angry visit from Mrs. of the Empire out into the studio here. That I liked, and I'm going to say I liked the last 2 episodes prior to this. I thought they were enjoyable episodes to watch, at least. And then we got this one, and this one was kind of back to what we were getting before. Because like I said, I like what I like from the show. I can't say that I don't, but this episode I did not enjoy. Especially after the last, I thought the last one was a lot of fun. I know that Thrawn is not the Thrawn that we expected. Is the unfortunate thing, So this one wasn't good. This wasn't good.
We got Uncle Thrawn with his beer belly.
Grand Admiral Yawn.
He's wearing a wife beater underneath his uniform.
I need to know.
I don't consider the person that they keep saying is Sabine. I consider her latrine. So,
she's just a beam.
And this is I know, thank God. And this is just going back to what Josh has said more and more and more, and it's absolutely correct. This was a 2-hour film that they are just stretching to 8 episodes because almost everything we've gotten is.
Yeah, and the problem, Joker, with that, and we talked about this a little bit before, is that episode 8, they're going to try to cram so much shit into, because we have all these unresolved issues, that it's going to be clunky. And whereas you could have spent less time on the filler shit to stretch out your series, you could have filled in some more useful things.
Kind of like someone who Dave Filoni got his inspiration from, J.J. Abrams.
Yeah,
doesn't know how to end shit.
I don't even think that they're going to try to cram in a bunch of stuff in this last episode.
You don't think so?
They're going to send.
They're going to leave us hanging.
They're going to send. Oh, absolutely. Thrawn and whatever characters that he also wants to go with him will leave. Other characters will stay behind. And we have no answers. We won't know what Baylon was after. We won't know.
I can accept that. Well, you know what though, Beard? The problem is, fucking Ray Stevenson's fucking dead.
Yeah.
Can't exist anymore.
We won't really know. What they're going to have to do is they're going to have to kill. They will probably have to kill him off screen, or use a CG double.
Guys, we all know they're going to recast him with Harrison Ford.
I mean, he absolutely. I think we all agree he absolutely does not deserve what they're going to end up doing to him.
No,
he
still my favorite
this show on his very broad, badass shoulders. Zach's, I think somebody has outdone you. It's just it, but it has to happen because you can't recast that role as he has played it.
No.
And
this is Dave's plan is to leave this hanging to springboard into a film.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck off. I don't want that.
Yeah.
I don't want that
worst,
so much. It's hard for me to articulate how much I don't want that.
At worst, it's going to be another lackluster, boring, nowhere season, and then also a film.
Oh, fuck.
What are
Matt, no,
I hope they don't do that. But what series is coming after Ahsoka and the Star Wars? I know, like they put off Acolyte.
Oh,
really?
Fuck off, Acolyte.
But that's supposed to be like a prequel thing, right?
No, it's going to be the space hermits.
I'm force choking myself because I'm not looking forward to that because that's all that one fucking gal's fucking deal. Weinstein's fucking
the
grinding monkey.
That's gonna suck.
I'm not looking forward.
How are they going to continue to plot with Thrawn though? Like, are they?
They're not.
Or they'll just go.
Yeah, he's just gonna go. He's gonna fade away. They're gonna be like, we utilized him for the season. He's gone.
No, I'm telling you, he's gonna.
Because
he's going to come back from the other galaxy, and the Mandalorians are going to defeat him. He's going to be as inconsequential as what's his face from Mandalorian series.
What was his name?
Grand Moff Gideon.
Yeah, Gideon. He's going to be as inconsequential as Gideon. Yeah.
Moff.
They're going to like completely beat him down. He's going to be nothing. He's going to be a throwaway character. Because he can't be an important, consequential character in the galaxy
because of the sequels.
And plus, Dave has said that he wants to call his film "Heir to the Empire."
Right. Well, also like
fuck off. Oh my god, so much fuck
is this
off.
going to happen in Boba Fett? Like, because the Book of Boba Fett is possibly going to get a second season.
No.
It's not for sure.
Nope. Not happening.
Okay.
I'm glad because I fucking hated Book of Boba Fett.
So is Mando going to get another season, and that's how they're going to do all this?
Terrible.
Okay. John was contracted to write 4 seasons of Mando. The fourth season has been written. So John is kind of hanging around just to kind of show run and ride this thing out because his contract is technically done. So this is going to be his end. And after Mando's season 4 has wrapped, he's walking across the street to DC Studios.
Oh, good for him. And he should. Hey, we need to wrap up here, guys. I do want to say, actually, Andrew, I can agree with that. If another actor were playing that role, not Ray Stevenson, someone far less competent with the delivery of those lines, it would not have the same impact that Ray Stevenson brought to that role. But I mean, the same can be said of a lot of things, but definitely, and that he is carrying the show despite everything else going against him. So next week, we are back for the final episode of Ahsoka. I'll try to lure Pops in with some candy or something so that I can have we can have both the twins here, myself and the good twin. I am the evil twin in the relationship. Let's go around the horn and talk about stuff we got coming up for the next week. Shieldwall, what do you have coming up, brother?
All right. Right now, I've got next Thursday's show. I can't remember if Jacob's got something on Tuesday. If he does, I'll probably be on that if he invites me on, which you might have already done, and I just haven't got to my Twitter feed yet. And just one more thing on this show real quick. If the fights had been better, like better choreographed, more competently done, the characters weren't all dumb, and like could actually aim and shoot at stuff, this would have been a better episode, I think. If the fight scenes would have been good, or better than they were.
A lot of potential, a lot of lost
I know.
potential.
I had a lot of problems with some of the stuff that went on. Wasn't sure what was really happening for some of it, but if you put space battles in that are good, and you put lightsabers and blaster battles that are good, it'll make a show better. It just will. So anyway,
Dempsey.
Oh,
better than Ezra. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. That's not hard to do from what we've seen. Anyway, also thanks to the chat. Lots of good stuff in there. Again, learning a lot, and also from the panel. Learning from everybody, all this lore. See, and that's what makes the show worse sometimes, is you find out like about the ship fuel thing. I had no idea. I was like, this is the dumbest crap I've ever heard.
So fucking stupid.
So anyway, so have a good night, everybody, and thanks for having me on.
It's a burden of knowledge.
Shieldwall. Jacob Ironside, what kind of magic will you be wielding this week?
The Wolfman. Tuesday, yes. The 1941 Wolfman.
Lon Chaney Jr. or Lon Chaney?
Huh? I believe that's Junior.
Yeah,
Junior.
We're naming the dog Indiana.
Junior.
So nice. That's a good.
And
your
then,
show
and
on,
then
Frankenstein was so good, by the way, Jacob. I enjoyed
thank you.
the hell out of that. It was great.
Yeah. So Tuesday is the Wolfman, and then that Saturday is John Ford. I'm going to be talking about John Ford movies.
Oh, nice.
So
fantastic.
And then and I'll be here next week for this last
John
episode.
Ford. Yeah,
the last of Ahsoka.
That's good.
Josh, what do you have coming up, my friend?
So Sunday night I should be on Max's Man Cave with Max. Tuesday night I will have Culture Popped. We are returning now that I have my internet. Freaking
you and your internet, dude. I don't know what's going on.
To be fair,
are you like rural Texas? You're like somewhere in the boonies, like just.
To be fair, we had a really bad storm with they call it Highline Winds or something, but it knocked a ton of trees down. There's still a few people without power, so I shouldn't complain about not having internet. But I was pissed that I missed another show. But yes, so should be back. Culture Pop Tuesday night. We're gonna have Drew on from Comics Lead along with Aaron, and he's gonna give his top 5 comics for September.
Nice.
And then I will be
Aaron's
back here.
I like Aaron a lot.
Yeah. I might be on Zach's channel Wednesday because he didn't get to do his show last night.
Oh yeah.
Discussing that, so I might be there. Thursday, I will be back here for the season finale, and then apparently I think I'm going to be doing Loki. So if you want to come discuss Loki, shoot me a DM. And before I leave, I want to acknowledge Michael Gambon, who passed away. Gandalf, not Gandalf. Yeah. Oh. I'm ready.
Such a good actor.
The show has done to me. I just want to rage quit everything.
Oh, no, he's gone. That's it. That's
Dumbledore. I meant to say Dumbledore. Jesus.
Gandalf, Dumbledore, it's the same fucking character.
And we
knew what you were talking about.
He was a fantastic actor.
Yeah,
and he was in a ton of great
he
shows.
was in one of the great Doctor Who episodes as well, Christmas Carol. With Matt Smith, which is one of my favorite of the Christmas episodes.
Yep.
Beard of Liberty. What do you have coming up, sir?
See, next thing I've got coming up is on Saturday, 9:00 after the weekend. Weekend Harder with JT Gunn, R2 the Icky.
Oh, nice.
If I'm scanning, oh yes, also with Untamed Mando. So we are special guest.
Nice.
Nice.
Gunn
tried to get me on, then he rescheduled, and I guess he and I are never talking again. I don't know what's happening with Gunn.
You never know. I may be spoiling some things, but looking at my notes here, might be talking about Rip Harry Potter. Trust me. The writer strike ending, obviously, and Hunger Games map.
Yes.
I
love Hunger Games.
Yes.
Oh, fun.
And obviously, we're going to touch on the Michael Gambon thing because
I think what would have made Hunger Games better is if there was more cannibalism. That would have made it more fun for
just
me.
a little bit.
But, whatever.
Yeah.
The right on Beard of Liberty, busy man, Joker voice. What do you got coming up, brother?
Well, tomorrow I've got a video that I'll be dropping at about 6 a.m. Pacific time. 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. I will be over on Legion Talk for Friday night's Royal Rumble. Saturday, I might be back on with Wookiee Be Bad to have another therapy session about this Ahsoka thing. I'm just glad that we got one episode left, which means whenever we come back for Thursday to be reunited with the Scissor Sister right here. Scissor.
Sweet mother of God.
Now, Roman, you have to find a reason to get Vex on here as well.
Yes.
I always want Vex. The problem, Vex and I have competing schedules right now. That's the only reason that I don't get to have her on more. Is that her Thursdays are usually occupied with
the scissors?
Yeti.
Tell her it's for the scissors. Tell her it's
I'll do my best.
Scissors.
I'll try to bring the Vex back, because everyone needs more Vex in their life. Everybody loves Vex. I can't control it, folks. I can't control it.
You started it.
Untamed Mando. What do you have coming up that does not involve scissors?
I've got a couple videos coming out on some random stuff. I think there was some random MCU news. I probably looked at something or whatnot. Saturday, I will be doing my Literary Souls, talking about the Witcher book series, Blood of Elves. And then Saturday night, I will be with Beard of Liberty on After the Weekend. It's going to be fabulous. I've never been on, so it was amazing. I found out R2 and I, or R2 the Icky and I, don't live that far away from each other. So that's cool.
That's
and
cool.
Then Monday, some more Dungeons and Dragons. And Thursday, I'm back here.
Right on, right on. So, yes, next week, of course, the finale of Ahsoka. And I will try to draw Pops in, like I said, maybe some chicken. I don't know. I don't know how to motivate the man. But I'd like to get him back over here to wrap
Just
this
tell
up.
him you're not going to be here and you need his help, and then show up anyway.
And it'll just pop in actually works pretty well. And the following Thursday, because we are planning out a little bit further now, and we'll be looking at the movie because we're getting into spooky season, The Prophecy, for our Halloween specials for the rest of October.
Oh yeah,
that is with Christopher Walken as the angel Gabriel, and it should be an awful lot. Yes, Josh. Yes, Josh.
Since we're getting into spooky season, can I make a recommendation for something to cover?
You may.
Which?
Okay, cool. Can we cover Dylan Mulvaney TikToks? Because nothing's scarier than that.
I'm out. Yes! I'm out.
I thought it was either going to be that or something with candy corn.
Oh,
I'd rather eat so much candy corn.
Leave candy corn alone. It's fine.
Leave the candy corn alone.
Actually,
all right,
it's
folks.
all about the circus peanuts. That's where it's at.
I'm down with that. I like.
I'm leaving it alone. I'm leaving it alone because it got disturbing rapidly. So thank you to the panel. You guys are fantastic as always.
I know.
Even when Mando zaps out, she's still better than 90% of the people who are out there. And to the chat tonight, you guys were there's so much coming in. It was a lot. It was great. You guys are always fantastic. So with that, for Roman of the Empire and Ahsoka, be kind.